Welcome everyone to week 1 here at Coast2Coast Racing League. Patrick Morrison here in the booth, followed alongside me is John Hine. He'll be out there on the track, get a little insider information, and that'll be fantastic. As we're racing the midgets here, we got quite a stacked card here tonight, but right now let's go ahead and get to Gambler Motorsports Topside Tuesdays. It is going to be a blast to see what these guys can do, this being the midget week. If you guys tuned in to me last week where we were actually doing the midgets, that was a wild week. That was, I've never seen anything like that. Dirt racing, the amount of speed that these little midgets can get, over 100 miles an hour. But I believe we are at Fairbury here tonight, and being at Fairbury, this is only about a quarter-mile track. So I'm assuming here, John, that track is going to break down pretty quick, and we'll definitely have to see some race lines change on these midgets.
Absolutely. This is going to be a tough little night here. There's not a lot of room to operate, and it's really a lightning fast track.
Yeah, we are definitely going to have to see how some of this goes. So let's go ahead and get to our prep, and let's take a look and see what's going on here tonight. Looks like we got about 84 air temperature, track temp about 92. Don't know really how that is going to play for the tires here tonight, but let's go ahead and get to what races we're looking at tonight. Each of these races will have a 30 lap feature race in the dirt. We're going to be racing midgets here at Fairbury. Then we're going to move over to the big boys. We're going to move to the fixed 410s, and that's going to be a fancy one. I've never been able to commentate on one of those winged races, and that'll be excellent there. And then back home where I like to feel, NASCAR truck racing, and we'll be there at Daytona for a night race. So we'll be, definitely stay tuned for that one as well, because we're going to be fighting track temperature and things like that, and especially guys that have been racing dirt here in the midgets will follow us along in the fixed 410s, and then they're going to try to try asphalt, and it's definitely going to be an awesome shakeup, and I'm interested to see how well these guys can go ahead and get around the track here. So let's go ahead and see how these guys are doing out here as we are qualifying at this point. See who we can get up here on the screen. Looks like we have Joseph Grandy there in the 518. We kind of taking a peek at there. Right now, I don't think anybody else other than Aiden Young in the 69 machine doing real well. Look at him popping that little wheelie right there going around the turn. So very fast for him. But we'll have to see if any of that tire popping up there, John, is going to cost him some time here in the qualifying.
Nah, it shouldn't, as long as you don't get it too far up off the ground. But yeah, getting the front end off the ground is not too bad here.
Boy, yeah, just as you say that, I put my foot in my mouth. Aiden Young goes ahead and nails a second place qualify time, but he did flip the midget, so it is on its roof right now, and that will probably do it for him in the qualify. I don't think we have much time left here. I think we maybe have about 30 seconds here to go ahead and get the qualify up and going. But this qualify brought to you by ABR Setup Shop. With more than 7 years of iRacing experience, 3-time iRacing World Outlaw Sprint Cars Series World Champion. Boy, that's a mouthful. Alex Bergeron is your coach and the setup builder for iRacing. The goal is to make you the fastest on the track without any exceptions. Don't look any further than ABR Setup Shop. Offer weekly official race setups, custom setup requests for your specific races, and most importantly, one-on-one coaching sessions. So that is excellent to see out of them, being able to produce something like that. But let's go ahead and get our grid up here. All right, looks like Brandon Dittmer is going to go ahead and take away the first place shot right there. Jeff Barker in the 513. Bob DeGood coming in third place in his 7 machine. Looks like Stephen Goldner in the 4th. Terry Landis, we know he's pretty fast in the midgets out there, and Patrick Spangler in the 39, but we'll see if he is able to grid up here. But yeah, looks like you're going to be able to sit this one out, John, and actually start the next heat. With this being our first heat, I want to make sure we go ahead and mention Langdon Mechanical here for our first heat race. Langdon Mechanical, second to none, heating and air conditioning company in the Hamilton area, and they promise their customers our own professionally trained Langdon specialists will be out there every step of the way. They guarantee customer satisfaction from start to finish, including sales, installation, maintenance service of your heating or cooling system. Every equipment sale, installation, and maintenance service call we make is backed by 100% Langdon. So, man, awesome to see out of these guys. But here, John, let's go ahead and get to racing here, man. A lot of cars out here on the track. Only 6 right now, but I'm interested to see, you know, when we get to that 30-lap feature. I've seen these midgets, man. These things are definitely definitely fast. Definitely fast. But out there in the chat, Patience Morrison out there, I love that pit truck. It'll be the cleanest one and the one without damage right now, but hopefully we won't see much of that pace truck here tonight. I don't believe these guys will really be wrecking these things a lot, although they do get loose, don't they, John?
Yeah, they can. They can over-rotate really quick, and you have to kind of be aggressive on corner entry with them and really drive them into rotate, and then they want to over-rotate once you get them going. So you're really busy inside these cars.
Yeah, you are. You know, they only seem just about big enough for the driver here. But let's see, Jeff Barker go ahead and take this one away here in the 513. Let's see if they can get around. They are to get 3 wide around these turns. Very, very quick here, especially for the first heat. Heat 1, these guys are starting out. You know, so this is definitely going to set the pace for the rest of the season. You guys had a fun week last week, kind of, you know, be able to get a little move there. But boy, it looks like Bob the Good there might have bit that wall there a little bit.
Yeah, I actually think it was Stephen Goldner that got the wall there. But yeah, that's going to move Bob the Good up into the 4th place there. Nice start for these guys, and you know, they're up there against that wall, and it's a fine line between being fast and disaster like that and catching that wall.
Yeah, getting a good color guy to make sure you get the right car at the right time, being where we're supposed to be here. You know, being able to keep these cars out front, so Bob the Good there. Going ahead and securing 3rd place so far. Jeff Barker and Brandon Dittler going ahead and fighting his way up front. I like that paint job right there. Kind of has that kind of shark look with the kind of the army green. I like that. Good there in that 83, but he's going ahead and taking off right there, way staying up front. But we are on the final lap here, John. So you better get ready in that car up for the next heat.
Yeah, we'll strap in here in just a second as these guys cross the start-finish line, and we'll stand on it and see what happens.
All right, 1 through 6. Dittmer, Barker, the Good, Spangler, Landis, and Goldner finishes in last place there. Kind of a little tangle up there, kind of clipping the wall. Bummer for him, but we're going to move on. Let's go ahead and get to the 2nd heat here. A lot of these guys coming out there. Jack Hitt going to be out there. Let's go ahead and get him in the screen. Excellent there. All right. So the 888 of Stephen Maurer there up front. In the 888, 217 of Jack Hitt. 71, John Hine out there on the track, starting 3rd. Aiden Young, we saw he was super fast in that qualify session there. Randy Shreve starting 5th. And Steven Bixler here in the 6th position, but we'll see if Bixler can go and get loaded in here. Don't know if he's going to miss this one. Might have had a little bit of a load-up problem there, John, but it looks like the 5 of you are going to duke it out here for Heat 2. And Heat 2 brought to you by Magnum Race Designs. They offer iRacing wraps, hero cards, logos, flyers, and even t-shirt designs. If you're looking for a new design and want attention to detail, competitive pricing, and fast turnaround times, check out Magnum Race Design on Facebook, or you can contact them directly through Messenger. They are a proud sponsor of Coast2Coast Racing League 358 Modified Division. And away we go, man. Looks like pace truck is off. Steve Maurer is going to take the green flag here, going ahead and get these guys started up front and pull away as we get green flag out. Marty's way to the green flag. On their way we go. Steve Maurer going to go ahead. Ooh, little jam up there on that turn. I don't think it's slid like he wanted to. So outside line starting to work favorable for some of these drivers. Looks like John Hine working the inside line a little bit. If that's where you are. Is that you up top or down below? That's you down below.
I just got to the high side.
Right.
Got to follow Aiden around here.
Oh yeah, well definitely good to see you guys swing a little bit. Got the front tires coming off, so here we go. Jack Hitt, Aiden Young, and John is just up front into the 3rd place. Steve Maurer there into the 4th position. Oh man, as he picks up the front end, it looks like Brandon Shreve kind of bumped the back of him there, but no harm, no foul. These cars are going to go ahead and stay going. Steve Maurer made him run ahead and bit it there. Kind of had a spin out there in turn 1 and 2. 2 to go here. Really a great race by a lot of these guys, but they're getting a feel out for everybody. Jack Hitt, Aiden Young, John Hine, top 3. These guys kind of racing it out here, making it pretty close. Aiden Young definitely super fast coming out of the exit of these turns here. So we'll have to see if he can run him down, but not right there. We got the white flag out. He's going to try to use up the very outside of that track. See if he can get enough speed. Oh, and I think he does. Yes, he does. Aiden Young pulls out the win in Heat 2, followed by Jack Hitt, John Hine, Randy Shreves, Steve Maurer, and Stephen Bixley. Yeah, was not able to make that one, unfortunately. Alrighty. And let's see. I believe we have a third heat here. So let's go ahead and line us up for our third heat. Let's see. Boydell in the first position. Steven Spees, Brendan Lacey in the 414. Joseph Grandy in the 518 there. And Alex Pomerleau in the 397. So we'll have to see how these guys get going here. Really kind of calm these down a little bit. We'll kind of turn those cars down a bit there for you, patience. See if we can get that there. So, all right. So our Heat 3 is going to be brought to you by Salty Dogs Racing Team. It's a racing team composed of many of the senior members of Coast2Coast Racing League and have been released from the home to create havoc and chaos on the track. Whenever 3 or more dogs are in the race, a dog bone will be awarded to the highest finisher. All right. Salty Dogs Racing Team going ahead and sponsoring right here on the Heat 3. So Spees and Boydell up here. Gonna have to really duke it out here. I saw these guys at the fun race, and man, these guys really traded some tire rubber bumping each other the way they were, but away we go. Green flag is out as they get pushed around here. Getting good little slide moves here, and oh man, there was almost a connection there on the inside. Boydell was not looking too good, and aiming Brendan Lacey there in the crosshairs, but Lacey working that inside line, and it seems to be sticking pretty well. All right, kind of having a good little slide here from the outside, and see how this looks and works out here, John. You know, man, this is starting to kind of do it here for them just a little bit.
Yeah, the track is getting a little racier as it gets a little bit slicked up. Guys can start to move around. You don't have just one fast line, but Steven Spees there out in the front there, he's kind of had a stranglehold from the get-go there, and I can't see unless he gets up there and tap that wall, he's going to be tough to overtake.
We'll have to see how this kind of wraps up here. 2 to go here up at the line, man. This is really kind of a jam up here. Spees, Grandy, and Boydell here in the top 3. It's going to get a little more output here as you kind of see white flag is out. These guys are separating around a little bit, but it looks like Pomerleau's really trying to send it there on the outside to make sure he secures getting out of last place there, but Lacey really sticking it to him. Boydell kind of bounces off the wall. Oh no, and Grandy rode the wall.
Yeah, that didn't take much. That's tough too. That was the last lap coming to the checkered flag. He could see it waving and turned it over.
Holy cow. Yeah, that was definitely a fold up on that one. Had a good shot at it, but boy, that undid really, really fast. All right. So as the rest of the results get going here, we're going to go ahead and kind of take a little bit here during the warm-up. These guys are going to kind of, go out there, kind of mat the track back down. I believe they scuff it up a little bit right before everybody gets going here to go ahead and, give the track another refresher moment there.
Yeah, it's a good time to tear it up a little bit more and make it a little more difficult to drive on, which for me is great. I know some guys aren't a big fan of it.
Yeah, we'll have to, and like you said, kind of, matting it down a little bit. I know some drivers prefer the more loose dirt to say if they can get more grip. And I believe even last week I watched you with Lucas Oil, and you kind of preferred the more of the slick spots. Just trying to see if that way we'll slide around the turn a little better. But it's if all of you are out there, there's really only going to be one kind of track. As them being slick. Boy, I've got a couple of midgets kind of ricocheting off the wall. Alrighty. Great time. Mention one of the sponsors out here. It's the Steve King Foundation. Steve King was formed to help dirt track racing communities across the country by providing financial assistance to drivers, pit crew members, racing officials, track operations personnel, or the immediate claimants of those individuals who suffer serious illness, injury, or death. Steve King Foundation. Really awesome to see them out here, but man, as I see a lot of midgets floating around out there, that also brings up another point, is that C2C racing school you guys do. Where you guys have the league's top drivers who volunteered to help league drivers improve their driving skills free of charge. They'll be offering help on various skill sets such as qualifying, driving lines, driver awareness, and setup advice. So if you guys go ahead and tune in to the C2CRL.com to schedule a session, great thing to have out there, especially here in dirt. I am no good at dirt. Boy, this will be one of those ones. Hey John, help me, help me! I can't figure it out, man. A lot of guys out here on the track, but only about 38 seconds left in this one. And these guys are going to get back out there on the track, get a good feel for how it is going. Next up, we are looking at the 410s after this feature. So if you guys like seeing the big wing cars that some of you may be used to, that'll be one to tune in as well. We'll be here to go ahead and bring you that live racing right, getting under that. But man, I'm interested to see, you see how a matter of about, 3 minutes, what it's done to the track here. You do see a lot of scuffing more and more up there on that top, which is just going to thin that line out. So here at Fairbury, it is going to be it's going to be a tough race line, especially for you, John. I'm not quite sure. It did look like you were working that inside line a lot more, but I just don't know if everyone else is riding high line, you riding low. Kind of the battle and the toss-up of, what will you have left when you wear the inside line out?
Yeah, and the big thing is you've got to try to pass guys where they're not. So you've got to be able to run both lines. So it might get a little treacherous up top. It already is, but it's going to get worse. But you got to be able to run it. And yeah, the guys, I think there's going to be a lot of guys going to the bottom here early, just because it is so treacherous, and they're going to tear that up pretty big. So I think eventually what you're going to see is both lines actually be dominant at one point in time or another. You just got to make sure you're in the right line at the right time.
Yep. All right, Brandon Dittmer, Aiden Young, Steven Spees starting your top three. Jeff Barker, Jack Hitt, Boydell in the 6th position. Bob DeGood, John Hine, you're starting in 8th. Pomerleau and Spangler, 9 and 10. Randy Shreves in the 11th. Brendan Lacey in the 12th. Awesome to see there for the 12th position. Terry Landis, boy, starting really far back. Steve Maurer in the 14th. Joseph Grandy, 15th. Stephen Goldner, 16th. And Stephen Bixler. A lot of Stevens out here. As you guys get ready to go, pace truck is off. And I believe Brandon Dittmer is going to go ahead and take us to the green flag. Waiting on Barney's green flag wave, and there it is. And away he goes. Already a tangle up there in the back. Looks like Aiden Young turned it sideways and really kind of folded it up there. Let's go ahead and get straight to that. Aiden Young here. I don't know if he kind of shot off the side.
Yeah, that's already collected me, and then pretty much ended my night. Got me turned over.
Wow, that was fast. That was definitely fast on that one. John Hines has jumped to pit, so let's go ahead and check that out just one more time. Kind of seeing what, how fast. I mean, that was so fast. How this got going here. I mean, I'm not quite sure. Did he spin off the line here? There on the outside.
Yeah, he might have spun his tires maybe a little bit, and it shot it down, and then we got into the corner, and for me, the 014 was going up to the high side, and all of a sudden cut down to the middle and drove right across me, and I couldn't miss him.
Wow. All right, well, we're going to go ahead and get back live there. Everybody took a little peek at what was going on there. Definitely bummer for him right there. It squat down, yeah. It almost looked like he sidestepped the clutch. And then you saw the front tires come up, and once that happens, obviously the steering's gone, and then you're just praying where it goes. So, single file restart. Dittmer, Spees, and Barker starting out here in the top three. Hine and Young, I believe you guys are out of the race here. From what it's showing, you guys are in pit, and Bixler is out of the race as well. So 3 guys down, but we still have 14 to go that are still out here competing. Good race, little spread out here by a lot of drivers. Going ahead and sending it around way, and there's another caution.
Yeah, and that might have been caused by me by letting the field go by. I didn't stop, but I didn't go. I probably wasn't going fast enough.
All right, let's see what kind of transpired on this one. Let's see. We're taking a look good here. 100% sure. Take a peek here on the outside and see if we see anything happen here. Yeah, I kind of see you on the inside, but I end up pulling caution, no wrecked cars.
Yeah, and like I said, I didn't come to a stop. I just wasn't going very fast because I didn't want to just jump up in front of the field. So evidently you got to go a certain pace. Didn't know that. Guess we do now.
Yeah, I mean, definitely trying to come to a stop and let people around. You know, yeah, you would kind of think that would be the smart way, kind of let people, you know, go around, not cause any trouble. But all right, so back out we go. John, you got to really stick it down and burn his way to the green flag again. Dittmer, Speeds, Barker still up here in the top three. Interesting line. A lot of these guys are running back here. Looks like Landis and Brendan Lacey having some trouble. Lacey popping those front wheels up again. A lot of contact. A lot of contact. We are back under caution. Yeah, I did not see a wreck there again. I think.
Yeah, I think it was either Goldner or Spangler. I caught him flipping through the air. I drove by him. It was Goldner. It looked like there's, as I came out of turn 2, I could see 2 cars about midway down the straightaway get into each other, and looked like Goldner might have got the bad end of that.
Oh boy, yeah, somebody shot up the track. I've been the 56. Randy Shreve shot up the track and really gave it to Goldner there. So now he's tangled up and beat around, so kind of a bummer. But it is first week, so I mean, I would assume everybody's trying to kind of, you know, get the good feel out here. You know, make sure how we get this away.
And there's a lot of guys that are in this race that I don't think normally run these things. So a lot of new guys, so are on a bull ring, and so these kind of things can be expected. Some growing pains.
We're back on the green. So yeah, no time wasted here with dirt track racing. They're super fast getting around here. All right, so check and look at our best times here. These guys are running about 13-second laps. They're pretty fast here on the track. Yeah, man, 13-second laps. So you can figure this is going to wrap up here pretty fast. But we've only made it through about 5 laps here so far. 24 laps to go, but we've already got them tangled up in the back again. I'm not sure if Spangler is getting kind of tangled up there again. Well, it looks like everybody's getting a good shot here. Looks like Bobby Good in the 7th car, in 7th. Going ahead and staying clean up there on that top line, looking real good there. You know, I remember last week we were watching him, if you guys tuned in, into that fun race, man, Bob the Good was getting every piece of everybody's car. I mean, he was like a magnet for chaos, so unfortunately, you know, it didn't work for him, but hey, it was a fun race. You guys come out here, you know, kind of figure out what you guys want to run this upcoming season, but man, Bob the Good there, getting a good run. It's like the 83 car of Brandon Dittmer. Yeah, definitely lost the lead back here. Is now hammering around a couple of guys as he's in the 7th place. We've got a lot of guys starting to really tangle up here, getting 3-4 wide here in the back. 83 is around. I watched that one happen. Front tires came up and we're back under caution. Wow. All right. Let's go ahead and get to Brandon Dittmer here and kind of see one more time. Let's see if we can get another angle. Let's see if we can get another angle here of Brandon Dittmer. Seems to be having a little trouble here on the track. Up there leading the race. But yeah, just kind of see him floating his left front tire up in the air. And then once it lands, that was it. It sent him around. He's trying desperately to save it. Collects the 51. Collects the 7. Man, a lot of cars banged up on that one. We'll have to see if this totals anybody out. Let's go ahead and get that chopper view up here toward the top. A couple of these guys are getting knocked and banged around. Not looking good out of some of these guys. Man, that is a bummer. That is a bummer. Steven Goldner here, man. He's narrowly missed that one. But, well, all right. Let's go ahead and get it back live here. You wouldn't think those little midgets would be so loud, but here they are. Around they go. But Steven Spees there. I'm sure he's happy to be up front. We saw him racing a little bit last week. So he does have winning capability in that 55 little midget there, and the way he goes. He goes ahead and takes that green flag and gets away. Boydell in 3rd. Jack Hitt in front of him in the 2nd place. So these top 3 guys are trying to figure out how to contend for Brendan Lacey. You see Lacey a lot really got, coming from behind in that 414, going ahead and giving it a shot up front. But he's going to have some time here. He's got to pick up the pace. He's going to get that ticker back up there with 18 to go. Back under caution. Oh, aye. We were, but we are not. All right. Maybe we've gone ahead and waved that one off there a little bit. But let's go ahead and get tangled up here with Alex Bomberly. Who seems to be having a little trouble fighting on that inside line, trying to make it work. But everybody's just kind of sliding around on that top line. You know, John, I don't know. When you start noticing a line doesn't work, do you stick to it and keep trying, or do you give up and try to find another way?
It depends if I'm any good in that other line or not.
All right, yeah, some guys do prefer the high line, others try that low line, but we got another caution. That'll bring out our 5th one here for the race. Obviously, these guys are running a little bit of those, got the heebie-jeebies right now, but it looks like Brandon Dittmer, from what it's showing me here, is the culprit again. He's just having a hard time getting that thing controlled. I think what's happening is he's not used to such a light front end there. I mean, it's picking up the front of his car and bucking him around, so... Yeah, Dittmer having a little trouble there, just trying to figure out really what's going on. But single car spin, no one damaged in that one, but we still only have 14 laps to go here in the run. And talk about a man on the move. 8 places up right now. Terry Landis there in the 161. You know, he's really making a lot of good moves up here. You know, and with another tan car, you know, I saw Stephen Goldner back there kind of getting banged around, but Terry Landis up here. Up a bunch of spots along with Brendan Lacey. So I think the 414 and the 161 have been really following each other around here on the track. Trying to figure out the best line to get it going, but Barnett back to the green flag. He's been waving that thing all day today, but he's tired of racing, you know, swinging that yellow flag. So another round here up front. Ooh, boy, a couple of guys really kind of hammering off the wall there. Now they're getting collected up again. And I don't know, John, you know, I know in asphalt tracks, you know, you guys definitely start getting that short track temper, but you guys in dirt all race short tracks. Are you guys mad and all the time?
We can be.
Well, here at the Coast2Coast Racing League, I know you guys are pretty good and work well with each other, you know, as you guys get going around Alex Bomberly. Watch out for him, you know, he's definitely having some trouble. Still working that inside line, though. Still working that inside line. We're taking a little look there at Randy Shreves as well, down on the bottom, as he almost gets collected in the 888 there of Steve Maurer. Oh boy, man, see, yeah, just a little trouble. You see him kind of trying to slide around there a little bit, but got caught almost way in the infield. Brendan Lacey up to the 3rd position now, doing a great job working up there, but now has a lot of distance to cover to get caught up to Spees and Jack Hitt. 55 and the 217. Terry Landis here, now up to the 4th position. Staying clean, staying safe right now. He's going to have a little move here from Jeff Barker and Greg Boydell in the 014 and the 513 here. Starting to really put the pressure on. As we're going to see a little bit of a battle here starting to heat up. As Terry Landis sliding around that turn, no problem, but it looks like Boydell was working that inside line, but was just unable to keep it collected. As Boydell is holding off Jeff Barker in the 513, 6 to go. In this feature of here at the Midgets, Coast2Coast Racing League sure puts on a heck of a show. A lot of guys starting to get bound up here. Trying to find some room to make some moves, but it looks like Boydell still trying to work that inside line, you know, hold it there, but oh man, as he carries 2 tires off the turn. Man, Greg Boydell trying to hold Jeff Barker off. He's starting to do that mirror stare there. Boy, he slides up in front of him. Real dangerous. Real dangerous. So Boydell trying to hold on to that 5th place finish spot right here. Don't know if he's going to be able to hang on to it much longer, as Barker looks like he bites the tires there. So let's go ahead and rotate up to Spees, who seems to be having no issues. Got about a 1.6-second lead on the rest of the field off of Jack Hitt here. So Jack now under fire by Brendan Lacey. 2 to go. Does Lacey have enough in the 414 to make any sort of a contention run here? We'll have to see. Get a little close there. Oh man, Brendan Lacey goes ahead and gets a good shot And we'll have to see if they do a little switch-up move. Brennan Lacey gets a good run out of the turn. White flag is out. Checkered now. Spees wins it. Let's see if Hit is... Yes. All right. Hit comes second and Brennan Lacey third. Wow. Terry Landis comes fourth. Boydell in fifth. Wow. Definitely got a good zip out of a lot of those drivers there. A lot of those drivers getting zipped around. All right. All right. Good moves by all these drivers out here. We're going to go ahead and see if we can get them wrangled up here in the room and have a little chat with them as they get lined up for some pictures here. Alrighty. Let's see if we can go ahead and get them up here. Let's see, where is Mr. Lacey? Alrighty. Let's go ahead and get right to it. Brennan Lacey, you got a copy on me here, bud?
Yes, sir, I got you.
All right, 414 car. Man, you came up 9 spots to go ahead and get a podium finish here. Yeah, you know, how was it? I mean, I know there were a lot of pileups out there, but, you know, you were able to make it through. How did that work out for you so far?
You know, it was really a one-lane racetrack there. You know, I was hoping that, you know, maybe we could have wore the middle end, so maybe the top would have came back in. But, you know, I found there late, kind of middle of the race to the later of the race, that I was a little bit higher than everybody else. You know, I got in there in the corner a little bit higher. I was able to make up a lot of straightaway speed compared to them, especially getting in. But, you know, that's one thing about these cars. If you get them wheel standing, they don't go anywhere. So you got to keep the wheels down on the front, and you just got to make sure you dig. And when it's digged up and hooked, it's almost like the car's so tight you have to hold the wheel to the left. But luckily, we were able to move up from putting us in a terrible spot out of the heat. But 12th to 3rd, I'll take that any day.
Yeah, no kidding. Brandon Dittmer, he found that out, and Aiden Young did as well. You know, these guys were wheel standing out of the turns, and they just did. It just kind of crumbled in on them. But you still place a 3rd place. 410s are up next. You know, you can be ready for that track, and you know, in that vehicle coming off these little bitty midgets.
Yeah, you know, it's more of those, like I like to say, you get a wing on you, it's a lot easier to control, in my opinion. You know, the wheels stay down on it for sure, and you can't really do anything else with them. But 410's fixed, you know, it makes for good racing. Hopefully we can get us a 2-groove racetrack here and see if we can keep this thing up a couple more spots here.
3rd place finish to start the season, man. Awesome job. Go ahead and give us your shout-outs, bud, and we'll get you practicing.
Yeah, big thanks to Vanderbilt Racing. Those guys, fantastic group of guys. Ross over at Velocity Race Designs for making killer-looking cars, and thank you to you as well, coming on board with us here, and hopefully we can put you on some better shows here.
Oh, yeah, man. Well, we'll definitely see. I know you guys have a NASCAR race tonight as well, and I hope to see you there as well, Brendan. So go ahead and take it easy, bud, and we'll catch up with you here in just a little bit.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
All right, and there's Brendan Lacey. But, man, we're automatically going to go ahead, move straight to Jack Hitt. You know, I want to talk to that guy. Jack Hitt in the 217. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Oh, man, dude. You had Brendan Lacey coming up fast. Was he any of a concern that, you know, he may be you know, a contention problem there toward the end of the race?
Honestly, I was just trying to hold on to it the whole time. Lap 1 knocked my wheels out of place, so I just, like I said, just tried to maintain.
Yeah, we are looking from the outside here in a kind of a slow motion replay, and you are definitely wheeling that little midget around. You know, really, what was your secret to winning here? You were up in the top 5 all night, you know, and you go ahead and get a 2nd place finish tonight. You know, was it just staying clean and you know, and racing hard, or were there something else? I mean, practice time. Talk to me, man.
I'd say just a lot of seat time in the midgets, but I mean, I've spent a lot of time looking at Steven's tail tank and these things, so I felt pretty comfortable where I was at and knew he wasn't gonna make a mistake. So, like I said, just kind of set it on cruise and went around 30 times.
All right, man. Right, yeah. Well, I was gonna say, not including the pace laps, but yeah, you guys did get around there a good bit. You know, did the track breakdown cause any troubles for you out there?
I didn't notice much change because I stayed on the bottom in the feature, but you know, obviously we were running up top early. I just, like I said, it felt like I couldn't keep the left side down on the ground there after lap 1, so I didn't even want to try to see if the top was fast. So yeah, it kind of turned into follow the leader there.
Alrighty. Well, we got 410s up next. Will we see you over there?
Probably not in the 410s, but I might sneak back for Daytona.
Oh yeah, there we go. The NASCAR trucks. I like the sound of that. All right, Jack Hitt, second place finish here to start the season out, bud. Great job, and hope to catch up with you later, bud.
Thank you.
All right, and there is Jack Hitt, and there we go. So definitely a fantastic run by him. We're going to go ahead and catch up with Steven Spies here in the 55. And John, I believe that is your teammate. Once again, to see him up here in the winner's circle. Good job by him. But, let's go ahead and get Steven Spies here and have a little chat with him. Steven Spies, you got a copy?
I do.
All righty, dude. Fast on the track here tonight. Once you kind of had Dittmer and Aiden Young, in your rearview mirror, it was nothing but all you out there here tonight.
Yeah, I generally do pretty good. I don't know why, I just feel comfortable in this car here. It's a pretty tricky one with this fixed setup. It's real tight, so you just have to be real careful on the throttle and keep it pointed the right direction. You give it a little too much too soon, you're doing a wheelie and in all kinds of trouble. But was able to keep it under control and just roll that bottom. It was a good time.
Alrighty, and yeah, we kind of taking a little peek at you here in a little bit of slow-mo. You had no fear actually picking that left front tire up all the time. Most of the, there on the track. Oop, little clip there on the tire. But man, you stayed clean most of the race here. Really, what was the hardest factor, to overcome to bring home the win?
Like I said, it's just kind of in this track. You do a little 2-foot dance, a little, gas and brake at the same time. Just manage that front end where it doesn't pop up on you and keep it pointed straight. Don't over rotate it into the corners. Just be smooth and easy application of throttle, and it turns out all right.
Alrighty, and there you are, getting away your first win. I mean, it's got to feel good coming away with the first win, going ahead and getting that out of the way in a series, starting out the season. I'm assuming a little bit of weights have been lifted off your shoulders here.
I don't worry about it too much. It's just racing for fun. Don't really expect to be able to make this one every week to race for points, but we'll see.
All right, well, we do have the 410s coming up next. Will we see you over there, bud?
Not sure. Gonna step away for a minute and see what's happening around the house, and if nothing's happening, maybe we'll give it a go.
Oh, man. Well, I better see you for the NASCAR race right after that. Those 410s I hear are something to control, man.
Will they let me bring one of the dirt cars on the super speedway?
I don't think that would be wise, but it may be worth a shot.
Oh, well, that's what I'm good at, so we'll see.
All right, man. Well, definitely we'll have to catch up with you later. Steven Spies, ladies and gentlemen, to go ahead and take it away. Race 1 win. Great job tonight, bud.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
All righty, and there's Steven Spies there. I'm sure he would like to get back up in the booth with me. He's going to give me an earful after that one. But we are going to go ahead and cut away for a short break here. And we're going to go ahead and start up with the 410s, moving to a little bit of a different track. So it'll take us a little bit to get tuned in with them. But we'll be right back, and we'll be watching the 410s here tonight with John Hine.
This October, some of iRacing's best dirt racers come together for one of the biggest A-days ever. All dirt roads lead to Charlotte and the Dirt Track Bank World Finals, presented by the Dirt Alliance. Fixed 360s, Pro Late models, and small block modifieds collide for 7 action-packed nights in a pursuit of a guaranteed purse of $1,500. 3 champions and an overall world champion will be crowned. Register now for this great event. Go to c2crl.com for more information. The World Finals run from October 21st to the 27th. 100% of registration goes to Mission 22 in their fight to end veteran suicide. A joint effort between the Coast2Coast Racing League, Friday Night Lights, and Dirt Track Bank, a division of Malvern Bank. Don't miss it.
In our industry. The lifetime parts and labor warranty is pretty awesome. Basically, all the parts are covered, the labor and everything. When we say lifetime, we mean lifetime, and it's supported with money-back guarantees. And with that, you're getting all qualified technicians that are going to ensure that this job is done perfectly and operates perfectly throughout the life of the unit.
Learn more about our Coolray lifetime parts and labor warranty at Coolray.com. Coolray and Carrier. Turn to the experts.
The 50th Napa Super Dirt Week, October 3rd through the 9th. Racing, music, camping, and more. It's the 50th running of racing's biggest party, October 3rd through the 9th at Oswego Speedway. Don't miss the superstars of dirt car racing go wheel to wheel. Then stay for the live music and entertainment. Get your tickets now at superdirtweek.com or call 844-DIRT-TICKS. Be there.
All right, everybody, and we are back after that commercial break. 410s is what we're looking at here tonight. John Hines still with me here in the booth. He has gone ahead and called an audible. He said, man, I cannot get enough of these cars. He's going to go ahead and give it a shot. So we're going to see a lot of speed here at Volusia Speedway Park. You know, a lot of speed out of these cars. I believe from what I'm seeing here on my ticker right now, John Hines' top speed has been 136 miles an hour. So it'll definitely be a guy to keep an eye out for there in the 71. Unfortunately, he is not the fastest guy on the track. Right now, a couple of the other guys, we had Patrick Spangler pull a 12.98 in that last one. So, man, he is the man on the move out there on the track. So we'll have to see how all these guys get going. So let's go ahead, get to our race screen. Now, you guys remember this. Let's go ahead and pull it up. 78 degrees in the air, track temperature 71. So watch that humidity of 66% here at this half-mile track. A lot of guys we are looking at. Once again, we're going to be looking at about 30 laps in the feature, and that's what we're going to have to go with on that. Going to be, I still think it's going to be some good racing out of a lot of these vehicles out here. What we can get around and get done as we are going through qualifying right now, kind of take a peek at some of these other drivers, seeing how they get around the track. We are definitely keeping a little bit of an eye there on John Hine, but man, this would be a great time to go ahead and talk about Cool Ray Coast-to-Coast Racing League. If you're looking for other racers to enjoy without all the drama and name calling of iRacing, and if you've been in iRacing, you know what I'm talking about. Come out and join Cool Ray Coast-to-Coast Racing League. We have 16 divisions that race 7 days a week and currently broadcasting 9 divisions. So you will get some airtime, and everybody else will see you out there running, and all your pretty paint jobs and everything else. They will be up here on our screen. So members know what they are part of, something bigger than just on the track experience. So make sure you check them out. It's www.c2crl.com, and then click apply to join the action, where the cars are virtual and the racing is real. So a lot of these guys out here we saw in the last race going to go ahead and give this thing another shot. You know, some of these drivers out here, just came from the Midget, so now we're going to put a whole lot more speed, engine, wider tires, I mean, this, and wings. To me, John, wings are kind of what we're looking for here, to see how, how these cars place on the track, really being able to plant instead of drift like we saw in the Midgets.
Yeah, and you still will drift in these as it gets slicked up, but what's going to be more important with these is going to be throttle control and how you use your throttle, especially as the track starts to slick up throughout the night. So be looking for that, and this is a cool track because you can run top, you can run bottom, you can run through the middle here. You just got to be, like I said, real touchy on that throttle. Roll back into it. It is really easy to spin the tires here. I did it, in fact, on my qualifying lap, and I'll tell you, when you do that, it's just like deploying a parachute out the back of your car. You slow down tremendously when you do that.
Yeah, and that's something to see. This will be my first time seeing the 410s, and just the amount of speed of what I see you guys getting. We're looking at just over 12.5 seconds for you guys to make half a mile on dirt. So that is super fast. I'm assuming you guys are starting to get that blurry look out of your peripherals as you're really scooting around the track. So qualifying is just about to wrap up here. A couple more seconds, and we should be kind of wrapping it up here and going ahead and send this thing to our first heat. And there we go, our first heat, as always. Going ahead and bringing up Langdon Mechanical again here for the Heat 1. Good to see. Really, a sponsor that goes ahead and sponsors every heat of a league. I gotta love it. So Langdon Mechanical, like I said, they're second to none heating and air conditioning company in the Hamilton area. These guys are specialists. They're trained every step of the way and guarantee customer satisfaction from start to finish. And that's also including sales, installation, and the maintenance service of your heating and cooling system. Every equipment sale, installation, and maintenance service call they make will be backed 100% by Langdon Mechanical. So, good to see out of that. Let's go ahead. Steve Goldner here up in the first position. Bob DeGood second. Jeff Sharp third. Brandon Dittmer fourth. Greg Boydell in fifth. And John, you are out there in the sixth position. A lot of work to do there in your car there in the back as you guys look at these cars. Man, they're looking good. Some of those paint jobs are looking pretty sharp. Speaking of Jeff Sharp there in the 28, good to get a good little shot of Jeff Sharp there in the 28 machine. Looking good there. 83 of Brandon Dittmer. He's really liking that that green, that kind of that army green color out of his 83 there. Bob the Good there up here in the second position. I definitely expect to see Bob kind of turn his luck around here and get pushed his way up toward the front. As I believe pace truck lights are off. So right when we get to the start-finish line, Steven Goldner in the 30 machine is going to take us to green and hopefully be able to put this one away. And that's kind of what you like, is once you get these heats, you know, you start getting a good feel for it and be able to, you know, put cars behind you instead of battling all day, every day. They're in the back with the tumble of 4 or 5 cars, you know, back and forth. Being able to get out there in that fresh air is really what you like to see. So Steve Goldner, Bob the Good up in row 1. We'll see how it goes. And Barney's got the green flag out, and away we go. Steve Goldner there. Oh, man. Sharp move there by the 83. Brandon Dittmer there having to take it easy. Oh, no. As it looks like Greg Boydell has bent it. Set that thing around. Wing is broken off, and pieces are flying. So Brandon Dittmer up here in the 3rd position, battling there on the outside. Having a little bit of different angle here. Different angle out of his vehicles. He's sliding, taking that inside line. Look at the speed these guys are getting. As Steve Goldner has gone ahead, like I said, taking that fresh air out front. He goes Bob the Good in the second. 83, Brandon Dittmer trying to make it happen. But right now, he's got Jeff Sharp all over him. Jeff Sharp tried to do the slide job, but didn't work. He's fighting there on the inside line. But the 83 of Brandon Dittmer showing you that that outside line is holding for speed. Definitely see that track not as torn up there on the outside. That grip is definitely helping him at this point, as he's now going to be able to reel in Bob the Good here and see if he can go ahead and put that 7 machine behind him. 83, super fast. 4 laps to go as he's going ahead and sliding his way on the inside of P1 here. As these guys get going. Whoop, little blank there by Bob the Good. Oh, and Bob blown to bits. All right, so back to the backup car for him. So Brandon Dittmer has now moved up 2 spots in the second position. And Jeff Sharp in the 3rd. But Jeff Sharp now has John Hine all over the rear of his car. So now we'll have to see if John Hine can really push it up into the 3rd position to make it past that cutoff point. John Hine showing that outside line. So like I said before, that outside line is working right now. As it looks like Hine, Sharp, and Dittmer are having a little good battle here as we come to the checkered flag. Wow. As they get going around here, all right. Goldner, Dittmer, Sharp. 1, 2, 3. John Hine breaks in the 4th position. Back there with Boydell. Boy, that was a bang-up job there. A lot of cars kind of getting tangled up there. All right, let's go ahead and get started on our second heat here. Get a good shot of these cars. Terry Landis going to go ahead in the 161. Brendan Lacey, we saw him place in 3rd in the last race. Here in the 414, Jeffrey Kemper in the 181. Patrick Spangler, we'll check him out when he gets loaded up. Gary Taylor in the 34, and Neil Strausser here in the 6th. And that'll bring up our second heat of Magnum Race Designs here. These guys also do iRacing wraps, hero cards, logos, flyers, and even t-shirt designs. You know, they're a proud sponsor of the 358 modified version. Man, check these guys out. You know, a lot of these guys are have their paint schemes done by Magnum Race Designs, you know, and it's kind of the thing. You notice a lot of paint guys, you know, they don't pay attention to detail. The pricing's a little rough, and the turnaround times take forever. These guys are the exact opposite. You know, they pay attention to detail, competitive pricing, the turnaround times are one to beat. So, man, check them out on Facebook, or you can directly check them through Messenger. Get a hold of them, tell them what you're thinking, how you want your car to look, and they'll see if they can go ahead and make that happen for you. So Terry Landis, Brennan Lacey up here in the front row, going to go ahead and bring us to the green flag as soon as the pace truck is off the track here, John. But you know, really talk to me through that heat, man. You know, what are we looking out for here?
Yeah, you know, traffic can be an issue here. We had a guy lap down that affected 2nd through 4th, just not holding a line and stuff like that. So, you know, guys got to be aware of their surroundings. If they're not, that the speeds these things travel, it can really stack guys up and cause issues. So, you know, things happen fast in these cars. And even if you're not a lap down, when you're on the lead lap, you got to know where guys are moving around. You make contact with each other with these open wheelers. You're going for a ride.
Yeah, but it's definitely hard to say. I mean, some of you guys just came out of the midgets, and you're seeing a massive power change, you know, from the little bitty midgets to these things. I mean, these things are insanely fast. So Barney back with the green flag, and away we go. So 8 laps in this heat too. As it looks like Landis there are going to try to work that inside line. I definitely expect to see him move up, if not take the win on this one for this heat. But Brendan Lacey, Patrick Spangler there, he moved up 2 positions, and now he's working on the outside. A lot of speed on this heat. These guys really are the top of, really the creme de la creme here. Brendan Lacey, Spangler, and Landis here, 1, 2, 3. And really, I'm not seeing anybody catching or falling behind. They're kind of holding steady. This whole field really doesn't seem to be catching anybody, and I'm wondering if this is just kind of how it's going to be. 1, 2, 3 up here in the front, John, as these guys, a little separation there in the back. Gary Taylor and Neil Strauss, they're in the back, but one, up front here, 5 to go. And, I wonder if they're kind of waiting the track to kind of catch up to them here in a little bit to see if they can get this around.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going on here. There's a fast line and almost fast line. As you see right now, the battle for the lead. You can get move up on somebody going low like that, but all that momentum and all that grip that's still up top, you just ride that around and it launches you out of these corners. It makes it really difficult. You can't get that kind of bite coming off the bottom between passes here.
That was a great turn there. He's going to keep trying that inside line there a little bit. I think if he keeps doing that a couple more times, he may have him, as he's already eaten up about 2/10 on that lap right there. Ooh, boy, as that slide gets going, the white flag is out. This is the last chance for Patrick Spangler to really stick it in there as he's coming down the backstretch, kind of getting a lot more dirt in the face than he wants to be. But Brendan Lacey blocks that line and goes ahead and takes away Heat 2 win. Brendan Lacey, Spangler, and Landis there. 1, 2, 3. Gary Taylor, Strausser in the 5th position, and Jeffrey Kemper ends up in the 6th. Wow, that was fast. Alrighty. That should bring our 3rd heat out as we get going here. So let's go ahead, find our guys up here in the front. Joseph Grandy there in the 518. Richard Holland on the outside of him. Brian Dickens, 122. Jeff Barker in the 513, and Randy Shreves in the 56. Only 5 drivers for this 3rd heat here, but not, nonetheless, still great turnout for these guys. But Heat 3 brought to you by Salty Dogs Racing Team, composed of many of the senior members of the Coast2Coast Racing League, released from the home and to create havoc and chaos on the track. Whenever 3 or more dogs are in the race, a dog bone will be awarded to the highest finisher. So a lot of guys out here on the track. Boy, this is interesting to see how many of these guys are going to go ahead and where they're going to put up front for the feature here, John.
Yeah, this is the final heat here, and final set of cars that are going to go in here, and then we'll shake it all down and see where everybody lines up. But I'll tell you, this is going to be a fast track here tonight. Hopefully we can wear it in a little bit more into practice, but look for it to still be hammered down early on, but that'll go away pretty quick.
Yeah, I think I'm still trying to come to grips a little bit with you guys on a quarter-mile track with the midgets running about 14 seconds. And now you're at a half a mile, and you guys are running less, just over 12. I mean, that's just, what I mean? We're doubling the size, and you guys are even faster than that. So I think, just coming to grips with the speed of these cars or something.
Yeah, I could take one of these cars and go back to Fairbury and probably rip around there in a 10-second lap compared to those midgets in 13. So.
I don't know if you'd ever straighten the wheel out of the track like that. So Joseph Grandy, Richard Holland going to go ahead and bring us to the green flag. Have to keep an eye out there. Richard Holland may have jumped that line there a little bit. We'll keep an eye out for that. But Richard Holland, great jump there, stays out front with Joseph Grandy there in the 2nd position. Have to see if this is kind of a Brendan Lacey deal we saw last time. If Richard Holland's going to be able to make that block. But yeah, Grandy trying that inside line. Now back to the outside line. Back to the inside. So he is sliding all over the place, trying not to get a mouthful of mud right here as he's working that outside line. So, man, 116 of Richard Holland under fire. Ooh. Looks like Joseph Grandy bit the wall there a little bit, and now is starting to kind of fall back. That may cost him later on in this heat, but not for the feature. Right now, Brian Dickens is now going to give him a shot there toward the inside. 122 out here on the track.
And they have data the damage level for these cars, and I'm watching the back end of that 518 now on that contact. That back end's a lot more twitchy than what it was the first couple of laps, so I think think he's nursing a sick car there in second place.
Yeah, he's definitely going to have to kind of bang that out before he gets to the feature. Last thing you want to do is get out there in the middle of 15 to 18 cars and you're still having problems. So the pit crew definitely going to have to get to work when he gets back in there. As you said that, yeah, look, he's way up high, so he's fighting that car. So only 2 laps to go if he can keep it out of the wall. Right now, Brian Dickens is trying to use that to the best of his advantage. Trying to see if he can get around him, but Joseph Grandy's still doing a great job getting pushed around there. White flag is out, and it looks like this is Richard Collins. This is his to lose. You know, he's up there in front, got a good lead of about a little over half a second, so he should go ahead and bring this heat win here at Evolution. 410s, there we go. So Holland, Grandy, Dickens there up 1, 2, 3. Grandy Shreves 4th, and Jeff Barker coming in the 5th position. There we go. So heat 3 complete, man. And you got to be thinking, you know, if this is what we're choked up to be, you know, just for the heats, I can't imagine, you know, how many other drivers out here really, you know, putting it down. This is going to be wild here, John.
Yeah, they'll put on a good show. You guys will enjoy this, but it'll be a lot of fun here, especially if we can get this thing slicked up. Then you're going to see guys running low, some guys running high, some guys running through the middle. 3 wide at these high speeds will put on a heck of a show.
Oh yeah, definitely a heck of a show for sure. We'll have to see how this goes. A good shout out there for Flatline Racing Bodies. Quality racing bodies produced by former NASCAR Regional Short Track Champion Dan Chapman in the iRacing hotbed of Clarence, Iowa. Go ahead and check those guys out. Boy, this is a tight one, man. I like seeing how many cars we can get out here. You know, if you guys think you have it, go ahead and check rl.com out there, man. Guys, come out here, sign up for this. I mean, dirt track racing, this is as good as it gets. You know, this may be my friend. You know, I've seen dirt track racing before. You know, on iRacing here, but this is these guys do it differently. I mean, this is something to see these guys getting around the track out here. You know, being able to hook up. I mean, different leagues. If you're not, you know, not a fan of the midgets, you know, we have pro late models out here. We got the 360, 305s. Here you're looking at 410. I mean, just insanely fast. So a lot of these guys. Now, I believe the Renegade class. I believe you guys run on Monday.
Yep, Renegades on Monday night.
All right, so man, yeah, Renegades Monday night.
No, I'm on the track. I'm a Renegade driver that night. Marty and them are in the booth. We had a great race out. Got into a wreck. Yeah, we had 1 caution at Lernerville with, you know, 24 cars on the track. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, all right. Well, we'll have to see how that works out for these drivers. I mean, you only got about a minute left. You know, good thing it's iRacing. You guys going to square that thing away. I know it makes you hold just for a little bit if you guys get kind of totaled and banged up there. Unfortunately, it is a warm-up session and not the feature. The feature is where it's going to matter here. You cannot reset on that kind of stuff. But our feature will be brought to you by Super Dirt Car Series. Super Dirt Car Series, the Northeast Premier Series showcasing the big block modified career driver. Florida to Canada, the Super Dirt Car Series is some of the most exciting dirt tracks in the world in front of the biggest crowds, including you guys. The ground pounding, earth-shattering, window-rattling beast of the Northeast. It's a Super Dirt Car Series. All right, we got about 10 seconds left to go. This is going to be awesome. This is going to be awesome. I can't wait to see if we're going to crown another winner here. It looks like Spees is not going to be in this race
I'm
here.
I'm going to be way in the back, and I've got the second fastest time here in practice. So I think you're going to see some fast cars that are in the back and some fast cars up front. That's going to make for some fun racing.
Oh, yeah, you did run a 13.34 out there, so we'll have to see how this goes as we get ready for our starting lineup. As we get ready to go here. Stephen Goldner in the 30 machine, going to go ahead and take us right up front and into the thick of it with Brennan Lacey, the 414 on the outside. I'm sure he's going to enjoy that. Hopefully none of the fun week problems with riding that inside line, biting the tires. All right, Brennan Lacey second, Richard Holland third, Brandon Dittmer in the 4th position. Looks like Patrick Spangler with some fast times, Joseph Grandy in the 6th position, the 518. We'll have to see how he does out there. Jeff Sharp 7th, Terry Landis 8th. Good moves by him. We know he's got a few fans out here looking to see how he does. Brian Dickens in the 9th. John Hine, you are starting 10th, so about middle of the field there, bud. You have some work to do there on the outside line. Gary Taylor in the 11th position in his 34 machine with Randy Shreves in his 56. So we'll have to see where these guys can end up going. Not too many after that. Greg Boydell in the 014. Neil Strausser in the 68 car. Jeff Barker in the 513. Watch out for him. I expect to see Jeff Barker make some fast moves up front in the 513 Marines car there. Bob DeGood in the 16th position. And rounding out the end of the field, Jeffrey Kemper there in the 181. So we'll see where he ends up for that. And that'll go ahead and bring us up here to, I believe, the pace truck lights are out. Man, you gotta have the jitters. You got so much power underneath of you. And this is your time to shine. You know, these cars take a lot, like you were saying, they take a lot more damage so soon. They've got to be careful.
Yeah, and the two cats on the front row, Lacey and Goldner, those guys are super fast at these things. They're going to put on a heck of a show, so hopefully we can get up there and have some fun with them.
Yeah, I think once you kind of run up there on Terry Landis there, who's right now in the 7th position, I don't think I think you're going to have your hands full. But, I mean, all these drivers out here chomping to get going. And here they go. Green flag is out and away we go. So Goldner going ahead and get that shot on that inside line. A couple of guys here trying the inside line as well and getting jammed up. Let's go ahead and get a little outside look here at what we got going. Two wides so far. No 3 wides. Everybody kind of taking it easy. But to say that, looks like the battle for the 4th, 5th, and 6th guys are trying that at this point. Richard Holland back there, dialed back 3 spots from where he started, so he's having a little trouble getting in front of his way off there. Richard Holland back to the 10th, back to 12th, and he is, man, totaled out, and that'll bring out our first caution. As I was saying, he was dialing back, he's flipping down the track. No, it has enough back here. It says he wrecked twice. So let's go ahead and take a look at Richard Holland here in the 116.
He may have left the ball one time. When I went by it, he was way up in the air. I could have very easily drove under him.
Wow. Yeah, definitely kind of shot him up, riding up the fence there. All right, there breaks the front wing. Around he goes. Man. Yeah, that may do it for him tonight. Not what you want to see. Richard Holland. Definitely feeling this one, and then he is off the track. Top wing comes off. iRacing can't do any more. So let's go ahead and get another shot of this, of him going around the track. And you can see what happened as he came right into turn 1. It looked like the front tire snagged and then sent him around. Oh, he clipped the wall.
Yeah, and right there going into 1, that wall actually sticks out a little bit. It's a little bit of an optical illusion because it sticks out and then goes back around on the wall. It's easy as the line moves up and up. When you turn in right there, it's easy to catch the back tires or whatever right off of that wall. So you got to be really, really mindful. When I first started running here, in fact, if you get on my car, I'll show you right where it's at here as we get into this corner.
Yeah, hold on just a second. We were kind of watching. It almost looked like he hit the wall coming out of 4. But, yeah, you see he's way loose even before he gets in. Big trouble there. All right.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I just passed it. But next time we're under caution here, we'll see if we can point it out. It's a little bit tricky to get in there without getting yourself into trouble.
Oh, yeah.
If you're running that high line.
Yeah, no fear. We got 27 laps to go left in this one. I'm sure Goldner's happy about, a single file restart, not having to really battle Lacey there on the on the inside where he was. But Lacey running the outside, but now he gets the track to himself. Now he gets that shot out in front where no one's there. So 4 tires off the race surface, and Goldner doesn't take any time getting back under restart there. He almost gets about a second lead, but way too fast coming out of turn 2 there and lost a boatload of time on that one. But Brendan Lacey, we've seen him. He's able to kind of keep composed, and he'll reel him in here. So we'll see how long that outside line is going to work for Lacey. As you can see, that is definitely working for him there. It shaves off about a 1/10 of a second. Good moves by him. Let's go ahead and get a little closer to the action. Brendan Lacey going ahead and staying in that second position. Trying to get from there. Let's go ahead and rotate back to some of these other guys that'll have some trouble. Back here, Randy Shreve, John Hine making a lot of good moves up there. He just passed Terry Landis, but there we go. And I called it before the heat got going, before the feature, that you and Terry Landis are going to be fighting back and forth 161 and the 71 car here we're taking a look at here, ladies and gentlemen. With these guys battling back and forth, looks like Terry's trying to take that low line, see if it works out for him, but he's got Joseph Grandy in front of him. So he may be trying to set himself up. Boy, it doesn't work out. Looks like Landis still. Look at him. Right in that bottom lane. Very peculiar. Not many drivers have tried that so far. Being able to get around the track here. I know we're taking a look up there in the ticker there a little bit. Lacey giving another shot. We'll kind of rotate up to him there a little bit. It looks like he's giving a good college try there. Ooh, and we catch him putting the ball there a little bit. Dittmer had a chance, but not the right line for it. So he's going to give him another shot here, 3 and 4. As Brendan Lacey, whoa, big cutoff move there in front of the 83. Dangerous. Good job there by Dittmer. We're kind of watching it happen here. Let's take a little ride with Dittmer, kind of see what he's seeing. To see how they get around the track here. And you can see, obviously, with that wing, not much to see. It kind of definitely narrows your vision there. So when you get, a wing in your face or somebody else's car right in the front, you don't see a whole lot out of the side of that car, especially when you're sliding to the side. You can't really see much on that right side, but they are doing it. Right now, top speed I see out there is 140 miles an hour by Terry Landis. So he's the fastest guy who's put the fastest speed down, but not the fastest time. Not a lot of fast times out there. Brendan Lacey out there, 13:93 was his last speed. Yeah, definitely a fast guy out there. Looks like a 13:67 out of him. Terry Landis trying to make some moves up there. Randy Street's up 5 positions from where he was in the 56 machine. So we'll have to see how this goes. Look at this. I mean, only 15 laps to go. Still no more caution, so everyone's kind of settled down. Kind of dialed it back, but as I say that, it looks like a car is up in the wall. He kind of totaled out there. Who was that? That may have been Gary Taylor. Gary Taylor in the 34 just spun around. We'll have to see kind of who got tangled up in the fence there.
That looks like Gary.
Yeah, it's showing here that Dittmer may have crashed. Right before Gary. Gary brought out the yellow flag. I'm not sure. It's telling me the 83 got into the fence. Oh yeah, right there. Boom. That did not bring out the caution. Dittmer yeah, he is up in the grass. Totaled out. And then we get Gary Taylor right after that. That brings out the caution. So let's take a look here at the 34. Man, gets caught up there a little bit. Spun around. Oh. And then it sets the front nose of his on the wall. We'll kind of keep an eye on him just a second here. And he's able to buck it off. Awesome. All right. Man, there we go. So, all right. So, actually, John, I'm going to find you out there on the track. You have dialed it back to the 14th position here. Let's take a look at that wall that you were talking about here. Let's.
All righty. I took a pit stop here, and I was all the way up to about 8th or so, but I think I caught the right rear coming out of turn 4, and we saw what happened earlier. But let's get up here, and as we come down here, if you can kind of look over my shoulder here at this wall, watch when we get to about right here. Look at that wall bend away.
Yeah, okay.
And as you're coming down looking at that, you're looking at the wall because you're always looking ahead of where you want to actually be going, and it's real easy to focus on that wall as it rounds the corner, and you forget about that little edge there that sticks out, and yeah, you can tag it.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. It seems it almost kind of breaks away a little bit to give you guys some room, but it is squeezed out a little farther than the rest. So you guys are back on the green, man. Go ahead and get going. We're riding along with John Hyde up to the 12th position right now, so he's got the work in front of him. Terry Landis up into the 2nd position, so a good restart by him. And we'll have to see if Landis can go ahead and take this one away. Randy Street, right now, one of the hardest chargers out there, up into the 3rd position. As looks like Good and Kemper back in the 7th, 8th. Those gentlemen have both moved up 9 positions as well. But Landis using that inside line, very interesting. Like I said, seems to be working. No one else is really trying that, but we're having another caution out here. We'll have to see kind of what happened with that one. Yeah, we had a bunch of green flag laps there, and now everybody's getting banged around. Looks like Neil Strausser is calling him the culprit of this one. So we're taking the look here at that 68 machine, kind of in the gold there. Ooh. Oh man.
Yeah, and you know the track is way slicker, and you know we were strung out there a little bit, and now everybody's packed up, and the cars are moving around a lot more. So the difficulty level now of getting around here, especially in traffic, is significantly higher.
Wow. Yeah, we have starting to get a bunch of guys out. Dittmer's out, Strausser's in pit, and Taylor, Gary Taylor's a lap down right now. So right now we got about 14 cars still on the lead lap, 11 to go. Really, this is starting to become a kind of a bang-up job by a lot of these drivers. But, you know, John, I kind of wonder, you know, what's the key to getting around here? I noticed the track is starting to break down a lot faster than normal. I mean,
it's all throttle control. If you get back into the throttle too quickly, you're going to spin the tires. The car might come around. If you overdrive the corners, you're just going to slide up and tag the wall. You don't have a big wide cushion to kind of catch the car as much as what you did earlier. So this is where the guys that have a lot of finesse, this is where they shine. You've got to manage the car. You can no longer drive it to its full potential. You've got to manage what you're doing. Be easy on the throttle. Be careful on the steering wheel, and commit to a line and really stay with it through the corners. Changing lanes and stuff like that isn't going to only really pitch you sideways or anything like that.
All right, we are getting a little bit of a close-up look here of those 410s. You do hear the engine power of these cars getting around the track. Definitely make it, you know, hear the hard to hear over our now, you know, our announcing voices here. They're so crystal clear this time. You say, John, you seem to have gotten your mic fixed there a little bit. Got that radio thing squared away, but we are under green flag, man. You got to give it a shot. Caution laps were not counted, so we got 11 to go. Out here in front, Terry Lane is still working that inside line with Goldman. Nothing but speed, nothing but clean, fresh track out there in front of him. As he's still showing that outside line, is working good. Landis starting to work still that inside line. Interesting to see, man. He's still powering there. Able to keep away. Everybody seems to start getting a run, but then kind of fall off there a little bit. Randy Shreves here trying desperately to hold on to third position. He's heavily contested with Joseph Randy there. Man, we kind of saw Randy, I believe, get caught up in one of those heats there, but he is definitely showing some skill here as Randy is definitely trying to make himself work on that inside line. We are back on the run. Man. And it looks like Brendan Lacey may be in it for this one.
Yeah, he caught the wall 3 and 4, and as soon as you watch it, if you come back to me, I'll show you the big challenge that we're facing when we run the high at 3 and 4. Ooh. The output board is big.
Right, ouch. Yeah, that may do it for Lacey tonight. We're going to go ahead. Yeah, let's rotate back to that yellow flag there. And you're saying kind of take a ride along with you and kind of see what's going on?
Yep. Yeah,
all right.
Watch. This is what got Lacey into trouble, and it's getting all of us in trouble. I think I was behind 39 too. Watch him jump around. I caught him a couple times. Watch this. You get about right here. Watch this Ricardo. Look at that. You hit that with the right rear, and I'm telling you, it'll jerk the wheel out of your hands.
Wow.
Got to be careful.
Yeah, it's definitely pulling you guys around there a little bit. It's almost like there's a giant, like a hard spot. You know what I mean?
Well, it's a cushion built up. And when we get back around there, look at the dirt. You can see the white railing on the wall, and then right over there, but we're between the Dryden and the NOS Energy Drink sign. Look, the dirt has built up onto the wall. So you're actually driving. If you do that, you're essentially driving your right rear up on top of the wall. Watch when we come back around here. See how you have the white wall?
Yeah.
You can see the railing. Then all of a sudden, no railing. And then you get toward the end, and there's your railing again.
I see what you're saying. So where that dirt's kind of almost piling up onto the wall there. Kind of looking at a little nose vision here. Wow, look at that. That just goes to show you the thoughtfulness of iRacing here to actually not just change, it being slick or changing colors, but it's actually changing the form of the track. You guys are now having to contend with, now almost what from here almost looks like mountains. As you guys are, you clip that, man. That's going to be some problems.
Like I said, that operative word there was our big issue over here. The word big.
Alrighty, well, we're about to get back under green. Stephen Goldner leaning all night so far, really owning this 410 class here so far. But man, Goldner, yep, there he goes. And just as we were talking about, John Hyde there, we're watching Goldner hitting those humps right now. And Goldner may have to kind of quit on that high line. He is clipping him a bunch here, and it's really starting to cost him some time as Landis is trying to capitalize on that. There we go. Yeah, as you see Goldner, look at that, trying to use that inside line now because, man, you notice those humps are starting to kill him. Boy, man, that is definitely a change there. So Goldner there, definitely. Watch out what he's doing. Landis here in the second position. Shreves in third. Grandy fourth. These guys are kind of all spread apart pretty well here, almost 5/6 of a second between each other. Looks like Jeffrey Kemper may be under fire there a little bit. Battle back here. We'll have to see how they get going. 0-1-4 of Greg Boydell there on the inside. Kind of fighting to stay alive for him as he's followed by Jeffrey Kemper and Patrick Spangler in the run in the 39 machine. So a lot of these guys have to switch it up here. 181 trying to make a move there. Jeffrey Kemper on Spangler. And so you can see Kemper is up 7 positions. Spangler's falling back 4. So a lot of guys trying to make a move. Spangler moves up to the 8th position. He's trying to, just put Bob the Good in the rear view, and away he goes. Good little battle here, but 2 to go. And really, the man on the move has got to make it happen is Landis up here. And trying to run down Goldner, but I just don't think he's got enough as we were coming down to the second half. But it looks like Randy Shreves is going to go ahead and make that late race pass. 1 lap to go. So Stephen Goldner's got this in the bag by over a second. We come up to the line, Randy Shreves is going to go ahead and take away second place here. And Terry Landis third. Joseph Grandy fourth. Brian Dickens fifth. Jeffrey Sharp 6th, Patrick Spangler 7th, Jeff Parker 8th, Jeffrey Kemper 9th, and Bob the Good goes ahead and gets him a top 10 finish. Boydell, Holland, and Hine, they're in 10 through 13. Gary Taylor in the 14th position. Brendan Lacey, he unfortunately wrecked out in the 414 car, placed in 15th. Neil Strausser in the 16th, and Brandon Dittmer. We saw him flip up into the fence earlier, and that'll do it for him in the 17th position. So that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for us for the 410s. Wow. Great racing out here. Great racing. Love to see it. So let's go ahead and see if we can get these guys wrangled up here. And really, what we got coming up next, man, is going to be a real treat. I enjoy what we got coming up next. It's not a knock on Dirt, man. Dirt, this is tough. And seeing how these 410s get around here and the amount of speed these guys, end up squaring away is really something to see. Terry Landis, we're going to go ahead and snatch him up here, get him up into the booth, and have a little chat with him. Let's see. All right. Do we have Terry Landis here? You got a copy on me here, bud? Oh, boy. Nope. Haha. Waiting room. Nice try. So fast. Terry Landis, got a copy?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
All right, man. 161 car. You fought that inside line a lot here tonight. Really, it was working out for you there pretty well. And picking up a lot of speed. Was that kind of the game plan tonight?
Oh yeah, it always is. Ask anybody. That's my line.
All right. I was going to say, I think my grandfather back in asphalt, he used to race all the way on the bottom. Everybody take the top because they were too heavy of a car, but he always took the inside line, and it worked out for you for a third place finish. What strategy or what could you have changed to really, kind of reel in Shreves there?
Nothing, because he runs the top like that, and I don't run the top at all, so it would hurt me to run the top. So I just stay on the bottom, like my teacher, Don Craig's Jr.
All right, well, still super fast out there. You were able to stay in contention. These guys didn't really get away from you. Just kind of in the last few laps there, it looked like Randy Shreves kind of opened it up another gear and kind of slung on by there. Up there with Steve Goldner as when you guys got under the restart. But man, still an awesome showing here. Really, I know you're kind of a small car guy and really getting behind these 410s. How different is it racing these 410s to the midgets?
Oh, it's a big difference. You know, the midget you can manhandle a little bit. With this 410, you know, you guys got to be really smooth.
All right, man. Well, we definitely have a NASCAR Truck Series coming up at Daytona. You know, will we be seeing you there?
Oh yeah, we'll be there.
All right, awesome, good. Well, then I will get you on your way after you give me your shout-outs here, bud, and let you get to practice.
All right, thanks. Yeah, first shout outs to Galen's Homegrown Popcorn, best popcorn you ever can eat. I'm telling you. Use cart for the code, and you get 15% off. And thank the boys back there at KSR and Kreitz Oval Track Racing Parts. If you need anything, give them a call, and they'll help you out. And my wife Judy. That's it.
Yeah, always mention the wife, buddy.
Yep.
All right, Terry Landis, great job out there, bud. And it looks like Joseph Canellis out here in the chat was keeping an eye on you during the midgets there. So, all right, man, good luck to you,
All right.
and I'll see you at Daytona.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
All right, there's Terry Landis, and we're going to go ahead and slide right to Randy Shreves here, making big moves. Randy Shreves, you got a copy on me here, man?
I got you.
Oh, dude, super fast in the last, 3-4 laps there. Really, was that the game plan? Kind of setting up Terry Landis there for the second place shot.
Yeah, I was definitely searching for some grip there at the end, and I noticed there was kind of a small cushion building up there in the middle, so I thought I'd try it. It seemed to work, so yeah, I got around Terry. Didn't think that was going to happen, but yeah, this car was just a handful at the beginning of the race. It was just hard to find grip anywhere. This setup was just, I don't know, it's a little weird. It's really loose, but yeah, definitely a fun race overall.
All right, well, Volusia definitely puts a lot of strain on drivers out here, and but you come out with a second place finish. Is there anything you could have done to run down the 30 car of Stephen Goldner?
Probably just get around Terry a little quicker, but yeah, Terry's fast, and Steven, he's definitely always quick. I don't think there was anything really I could have done differently other than if I would have gotten around Terry just a little sooner, then maybe I could have ran him down.
All right, well, you started 12th position and ended second. Really, the only thing you can ask for more on that is really collecting Stephen Goldner and putting him in the rear view. But we got Daytona coming up here. Up next here in the broadcast. Now I'm assuming you're going to be there, bud.
Yeah, I'm not really an asphalt guy, but I'm going to go ahead and give her a shot.
All right, man. Well, nice and easy into the turns. Let the truck come to you. You can't dive it in like you guys do here at Dirt, but really these 410s definitely different than midgets and kind of rounding this up here, man. So, we'll go ahead and get you over to practice. Go ahead and give me your shout-outs here, bud, and let's get you on your way.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely want to thank Coast2Coast for always putting on this awesome league. You guys at Simtrax for broadcasting, for coming on, broadcasting this stuff. I love going back and watching this stuff at the end of the night. And I want to thank my team, LGR Motorsports, Redline Race Design, One Wish Foundation, Wraps and Stitches, KSB Builders, Finish Line Repair, and CD Cinematography, and to everybody for watching.
All right. Fantastic job tonight here, Randy, and you did an awesome job, man. I can't wait to see what the rest of the season holds for you, bud. So great job tonight, and I will see you in just a little bit at Daytona.
Thanks, Patrick.
All righty, John, and I believe I'm going to let you catch up here with Stephen Goldner, our race winner here tonight. Really, and how well he did was really something. I mean, absolutely a crazy run from Stephen Goldner here in the 30 machine.
Hey, Steven, this is John. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, bud, another dominating performance from the 30 car tonight. Walk me through the difference in the track, how it changed, what you did to keep up with the track and bring it home first place.
I was struggling pretty early with the set. Qualifying didn't really go good. I thought, I put a good lap down and I was, good enough to be on the front row of a heat race. So that's not really nothing to be super happy about, but we were able to hold on for the heat race win, which was nice. Starting up front definitely helped there in the feature. Kind of trying to keep the car under me, still trying to get the set all sorted out, and it kind of came to me there late in the race. Top got pretty rough there in 3 and 4. I kind of moved down the bottom. Lacey was helping me there, so I got to thank him for the help. And yeah, it's an overall good night, I think.
Yeah, but you, like I said, dominating. You took control of the race. You didn't look back. The cool thing is about these 410s, I suppose, between that and the midget, how many laps did it take you to switch your mindset and your timing and all that kind of stuff once you got into practice for that 410?
That wasn't too bad. The track was still kind of hammered down, had a lot of moisture, so I was just running wide open and just kind of, it took a couple laps. Now it's good to go. I wish the midget race went a little bit better. Tough break there, but we got the win, and at least we're on the podium at some point tonight.
Well, but are you going to be here for Run the Daytona Trucks?
I'm not sure yet. We'll see. See what I have going on upstairs. I might hop back down here real quick and join and see what happens, but we'll see.
Oh, 10-4. Congratulations again. And who would you like to give a shout out to?
I gotta thank all the Vanderbilt guys for all their help. Ross, Brent at Velocity Race Designs, Alex at ABR Setup Shops, It's Perfect Photography, 2-1 Designs for the 410 sponsorship, you guys for the broadcast, and Roger and everyone with the league.
Well, congratulations again, Stephen. I'm sure we'll talk to you again before too long. That's Stephen Goldner, tonight's winner in the 410 Sprint Division.
Alrighty, and Stephen Goldner, it is, man, really a blast to see him going ahead and getting that first win. Like I said, getting that first win of the season on race 1 is it makes the rest of it come easy. It almost like the rest of it can fall into your laps at this point. So Stephen Goldner are going ahead and coming away with the win here. Randy Shreves there in the second position. Terry Landis third. A lot of guys sound a little nervous about going ahead and lining up here for NASCAR coming up in the trucks. We'll be at Daytona during the night race, so these guys will have to kind of let the car come to them to let the tires tack up and go ahead and get this pushed around here. John, I know you are probably already out there on the track, man, going ahead and putting some times down in the trucks. Definitely got to be careful out there, and I'm excited to see how that one turns out. But yeah, this is going to be something here for some of these drivers. But the 21 Designs going ahead and sponsoring this race here on the fixed 410s. We'll be right back, and we'll go ahead and bring you some NASCAR action.
This October, some of iRacing's best dirt racers come together for one of the biggest A-days ever. All dirt roads lead to Charlotte and the Dirt Track Bank World Finals, presented by the Dirt Alliance. Fixed 360s, Pro Late models, and small block modifieds collide for 7 action-packed nights in a pursuit of a guaranteed purse of $1,500. 3 champions and an overall world champion will be crowned. Register now for this great event. Go to c2crl.com for more information. The World Finals run from October 21st to the 27th. 100% of registration goes to Mission 22 in their fight to end veteran suicide. A joint effort between the Coast2Coast Racing League, Friday Night Lights, and Dirt Track Bank, a division of Malvern Bank. Don't miss it.
leader in our industry. The lifetime parts and labor warranty is pretty awesome. Basically, all the parts are covered, the labor and everything.
When we say lifetime, we mean lifetime, and it's supported with money-back guarantees. And with that, you're getting all qualified technicians that are going to ensure that this job is done perfectly and operates perfectly throughout the life of the unit.
Learn more about our Coolray lifetime parts and labor warranty at Coolray.com. Coolray and Carrier. Turn to the experts.
The 50th Napa Super Dirt Week, October 3rd through the 9th. Racing, music, camping, and more. It's the 50th running of racing's biggest party, October 3rd through the 9th at Oswego Speedway. Don't miss the superstars of dirt car racing go wheel to wheel. Then stay for the live music and entertainment. Get your tickets now at superdirtweek.com or call 844-DIRT-TICKS. Be there.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is right where I like to be here at NASCAR, sponsored by Tim Chapman Racing. We're going to be running the trucks here tonight, 50 laps at Daytona. Right now, they are practicing during the day right now. We're going to go ahead and get a good feel for how the track feels. Boy, as you can kind of see right there, we're watching them kind of smash each other to pieces, but good thing to do now, get to the backup car and get back out there before the race gets underway. So these guys will have a little bit of time to qualify, and then, like I said, 50 laps here. Tires will not be an issue here at the track at Daytona. Remember, we are going to have a bunch of dirt racers going ahead and going to give it a shot here on the asphalt for week one. These guys are going to, give it a good push. I mean, I think they learned a lot during the fun week. Last week, kind of, these guys giving a good taste of what it's like to run on asphalt. A little more forgiving out there on the dirt, but not here on the asphalt. One mistake, one bump the wrong way, and it could ruin your night, as you see a couple of these other guys out there getting kind of smashed up here. John Hine will continue to join me here in the booth. Really appreciate you joining me here tonight, bud.
Oh, no worries. Having a good time here. Just trying to turn laps and not tear too much stuff up.
All right, well, we'll definitely be... we'll have to see how that works, how that ends up contending. 35 drivers right now are setting up here on the track to go ahead and get this one underway. I know they're kind of getting a good feel, making sure, we kind of shake the dirt out and get into asphalt mode. As you see some of these guys just having a heck of a time. I hope this is not going to be a kind of what the race is going to look like here. Roger Craig there obviously got a little bite out of in his Chevrolet, so he'll be to the backup car. And a lot of guys you see getting tangled up here. John, let's see how you're doing out there, bud. Looks like you're starting to come off pit.
Yeah, P8 on the board, but those lap times, you can't trust them, because if a guy has 3-4 cars in line, they're going to go faster than just 2, or in my case, I'm not here by myself, so
absolutely
none of that matters here. So, but it's a little different than slinging that 410 around, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a lot different. And kind of the key here is, at dirt, yeah, you do have your friends, but, and kind of know where they're going to be. Here, you got to be looking for a drafting buddy. You know, no one can actually separate from the field and pull away. You know, you've got to find somebody that you can work with, and really once you get down to about 10 to 10 to go, that's where the gloves come off. The paint gets traded, and you know, you battle out to the end. But you know, you're not intentionally wrecking, but you know, Rubbin's Racing, definitely expect to see that. I know we are getting a little bit of a start here, about 8:45 Eastern Standard Time. I want to give a little shout out there for W Energy Drinks. If you check down in the link, use the coupon code SIMTRAX, just the way you see it spelled, SIMTRAX, and that'll go ahead and knock that down a little bit of a coupon code there. And you can go ahead and turn that in and go ahead and get some of that W. And be mindful. This stuff is going fast. I've been trying to get some of it, and man, they are just selling out like crazy. So right now, go ahead and check out W Energy Drinks here, and it's one of the, you know, kind of one of the things that they boast about that is a jitterless blend. So you know, you don't get like that, you know, the high ramp up and then the crash at the end. It's just kind of a nice smooth way through there. So check out W Energy Drink, as these guys are, I believe, going to crack down here a little bit and push their way into qualifying here. We'll have to see how some of these drivers do. Ed Harris, Christopher Berger out here, Joseph Grandy, Roger Craig, Bob Light. You know, these guys are the fastest ones on the track so far. But like we were talking with John, if you're in the draft, like we're kind of looking on our screen here, these guys are just going to be a lot faster, just riding around in the draft. So when you see you know, like let's say a 49-second lap time when somebody out there running by themselves is running about 52, you know, no issues there. But these guys, it's a good idea for them to kind of run, you know, side by side here, kind of feel how it is. We're looking at John kind of in the pile there, and you know, you see it starting to kind of loosen his truck up a little bit, so you know, get a good feel for it. You know what this thing is going to do is you know, these trucks light in the rear, but you know, the face of these trucks is going to definitely change. World Series, boy, this is going to be awesome. I'm really excited to see how this works out. Chapman Racing is sponsoring this the race for the season. Actually sponsoring the entire series for the season. I like to see that. But Daytona is on the books here for tonight. We'll have to see what these guys can get done. I know we've seen them practice. I can't blame them at this point. You know, make sure you get plenty of time under, you know, on the wheels out there to make it happen. But man, it really, to me, John, it's deciding who wins this race upcoming. You know, really, how do you set yourself for success for the end of the season, coming away with a win here at Daytona?
Yeah, you're gonna have to have friends, that's for sure. But that's the only way you're gonna get to. Oh, we're going to qualifying.
All right, qualifying it is. All right, John, you're gonna have to keep your head down. Get a good qualified time. I know heat in the tires is going to be a factor of what these guys, you know, what it's going to choose. Really kind of a really ugly spot is to kind of be in that 15th position back. That's kind of a really, really bad spot. Yeah, your hot area is going to be between about 9th and 13th. So we got a lot of drivers out here on the track, and I'm stoked. I'm stoked to see how they can get going. But let's go ahead and pull up. Let's pull up some practice results. Let's kind of see how these guys are doing already. And you'll kind of see what I was talking about, how close these times are getting for some of these guys out here. You know, a bunch of Gambler Motorsports guys, Salty Dog team, Roger Craig up there in the 4th position. And you're kind of seeing, you know, what, you know, just practice-wise, you know, 28 drivers out there trying to make, you know, get a good feel for the track out here at Daytona. And getting around here, and good plethora of trucks, you know, good separate. You know, we got a lot of Toyotas, we got Chevys, and we have Fords. And I do see some guys kind of hover around the Fords and Chevys, and the Toyotas are left in the back. But I personally have no problem with the Toyotas. I find I am the fastest in a Toyota. But all driver's choice at this point. But we are watching John Line here in the 71 Ford, kind of seeing how he's getting around the track here.
Yeah, I'm going to start out up high here for 2 reasons. Just to build as much speed as I can and to burn as much fuel as I can. So this next lap, maybe I'm, you know, a half a gallon, which can be a couple pounds lighter than somebody that just hugs the bottom both laps. So we'll see how it goes. Last week when we were here, I tapped the double yellow line down there and lost probably a couple of tenths, and that put me back in that hot zone you talked about. So as we come through the trial over here, we'll bring her on down right along that yellow line. Hopefully we can stay off of it and get a good lap in.
Oh, yeah. Definitely a fast line here at Daytona is really not staying high. You want to stay yellow line the entire way around, which is kind of weird. You know, you would kind of think you would fade up out of the turn, but it is not. If you actually stay closer to the yellow line, I found that it seems to be the fastest way around the track. But looks like Hine had a little bit of a slow first lap there. No fear, he's going to be able to go ahead and get a second lap down here. He may be thinking that extra step ahead and going ahead and getting a good push here for a shot. But let's go ahead and take a ride kind of inside and kind of see what he's looking at here. Getting around the track. It's going to be a little loud inside the car. Here we go.
Yeah, I'm always looking ahead on the track, not right off my bumper, but far enough ahead, and I drive the car to where I'm looking. But we'll see if this should be a better lap. Hopefully it does go.
At this point was pole position, but Preston Cranmer goes ahead and takes that right back away, and here they come. So the rest of the second laps are starting to roll in for these drivers here. Preston Cranmer, Bob Light, and now holds the pole. As we get him here in the screen, the 77 Chevrolet. John, nothing to say, hang your head about. That is still a top 5 start. So you have a really good shot at getting, staying up front and staying clean. We'll see how the rest of these guys get kind of dialed in here. Up there on our screen is our best times that you were seeing from these guys, and it's kind of where they are going to place. About another minute and about another minute and a half of qualified time for these guys to go ahead and really stick the last of them. 32 drivers right now out here on the track, and right now 32, and that's not including the 4 guys who've yet to qualify. So we have a great turnout here. I'll probably say this is probably the biggest turnout of trucks I've had here at Simtrax Broadcasting, and Coast to Coast really going ahead and putting the word out. Hey guys, come try NASCAR. This is the one to be at here. But I don't want to say too much. I mean, those 410s I just watched were insane. But here we are, NASCAR style, and we're gonna have to see how this comes down to it at the line. I mean, Daytona doesn't really calm down. You are gonna see a lot of strategies with drafting and things like that, trying to figure out a good place to be and to start. But John, you still hold third. Bob Light and Preston Cranmer still hold 1 and 2 here.
Yeah, pleasantly surprised here. Bob's a good guy to be behind. I trust him. I can just stay right on his bumper here from the get-go, and hopefully just be patient for the first 40 laps or so, and let's hope if there's any trouble to be had, let's just hope it's behind us.
Yes, and if we are doing iRacing and NASCAR rules, these guys are going to have to keep an eye out for restart zone, and that is a big thing that these guys are trying to figure out. Is first green flag will be controlled by the flagman Barney up there in the booth, and then we'll see after that if there's another caution. It will then be on the leader. He has to start inside of the restart zone. If second place passes him first at the line, he'll be black flagged into the back and have to do a 40-second drive-through. So these guys have had a lot of trouble trying to figure out how to get lined up or get that restart underway. You don't want to jump the line, but really that gives a good shot for first and third and kind of leaves second hanging there on the outside. But we're going to go ahead, get the grid up here and show you what we got going on here to start the race. Bob Light, Preston Cranmer up in row 1. Gonna give it a run for their money. Good aim for them. John Hine and Jason Sams there in the second row for third and fourth. Looks like Pat Boyce there in the fifth. Sixth is go ahead.
I was gonna say Bob White just disappeared. Oh, he's back. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, you are wishful thinking out there, bud. All right, Joseph Canellis there in the 6th. Jeremy Tate in the 7th position. 8th is Jeffrey Kemper. Christopher Berger in the 9th, and Jackson Lomax rounding out our top 10. So that brings Ed Harris and Dan McLaren there in the 12th. So 11 and 12 for those guys. So let's go ahead and rotate to our next set of drivers. Man, this is awesome. Glad to have everybody out here. Neil Strausser, John Rayner 13th, 14th. Brian Dickens, 15th. Butch Baker, good to see him out here in the 16th position. Looks like Dean Meltzer in the 17th with Greg Boydell in the 18th position. Dale White in 19th. Andrew Smith in the 20th. Bill Calder in the 21st. And Roland Olson, sorry about that, bud, in the 48 Toyota here. Steven Bixler starting in the 23rd position in the 75 Chevrolet. Jacob Butcher in the 85, starting 24th. Let's see if we can go ahead and get a better view of this. Looks like these guys are starting to get back here in the field a little bit. All right, Terry Landis, we saw him do pretty well there in the 410, starting in the 25th position. Up front here, Alex Pomerleau in the 26th. Roger Craig, 747 Chevrolet, actually started really far back here. Interesting to see how far back he is there in the 27th. So that'll bring Mark Gilbert, 28th, Zach Chapman, the 29th, Randy Shreves here in the 30th. All right, so that'll bring Tim Chapman, the 31st, Joe Halter in the 32nd, Joseph Grandy, 33rd, Brandon Dittmer in the 34th position. All right, we'll have to see how he is able to fight his way up there. Kind of bad luck in a lot of these dirt races. Hopefully this can turn it around for him in the asphalt. Michael Berthet in the 35th, and Richard Holland, 36th. And Jim Bowie will be our 37th driver out here. We'll have to see if some of these guys are able to go ahead and get lined up here, get this underway. So we should be under green. It won't take long for these drivers here at Daytona. 50 laps, 2.5 miles. And these guys are going to get around here in less than a minute around the track. John, kind of what's your game plan here, bud?
Trying to keep the fenders on it, but tuck up here behind Bob and see if we can click some laps off. Not going to do anything too crazy early on. Just get some laps, get into the second half of the race, and hopefully we'll be in the position that we can make a run at this thing.
All right, we'll have to definitely see how that comes about. You know, I mean, this first green flag is the hardest one. I know during the fun race it was not fun for a lot of drivers. A lot of guys did get tangled up, but I mean, look at this. A full field of trucks, and I am excited to go ahead and bring out our first green flag. Barney up in the deal, has it out, waving now, away they go. So Bob Light, Preston Kramer, and John Hine taking away our top three. With Jason Sams and Pat Boyce there in the 41 machine. Look at that sea of cars. I love to see it. Love to see it. As we get spread out here a little bit, let's go ahead and get a little zoom out here so you can kind of see the sea of cars. Bob Light going ahead and staying out front. John, fantastic job working that inside line. As I you guys tuned in last week, you'll know that inside line is not always a winner. That outside line will start forming up, and then away they'll go. As it looks like we have our first caution already here in the midst of all this, and it looks like Roger Craig may have bent it. We're going to go to a little caution here, and let's see what happened to Roger Craig. Let's see what happened to his 747 machine here. And we're going to go to a little replay here at Simtrax Broadcast, and let's take a peek and see what he had going on here in the 747 machine, as it looks like he gets squeezed 3 wide with the 76. Oh, hits that 72, and we'll have to see how bad it gets here. Yeah, it looks like the 72 straightened him out. Oh, man. 37, look out. Ooh, 37 kind of blinks out there. Yeah, and that may have done it for Roger Craig there. I'm hoping he's able to go ahead and get that one fixed. He is definitely down pit road here, as we're kind of finishing up the deal. All right, so let's go ahead. I want to send this back kind of in the cockpit and take a look and see, you know, if Roger could have done anything. Because as he got going around there, it did look like the front of his truck kind of loosened up on him, and then it sent him around. All right, let's go to a caution replay here, and we'll kind of be quiet and kind of see what happened here. Yeah, I don't know if it kind of loosened up on him a little bit there, but it definitely sent him around. That is going to bring out our first caution here tonight. A lot of guys up here being able to stay alive, but that is that's going to bend up a couple of cars here. Definitely a couple of cars. I want to take a look and see. I believe the 32 may have gotten into a little bit of that. Trying to see if any guys, looks like Roger Craig is back out on the track.
Yeah, we have 3 fast repairs here for this race, so you got basically 3 mulligans to bend it up. You can get a new ride.
And that is always good to hear. Leave it to the color guy to hold that back for me. You guys have 3 fast repairs, so this is really going to be awesome here at the Daytona International Speedway. You know, for first time for some of these drivers, you guys are going to have another chance. You know, you guys, yeah, you're going to be able to put that car back together.
And my VR just crashed.
Oh, no. I was going to say, I see you kind of dialing back here. No.
I will be back shortly.
All right, John. We're going to catch back up with you here in a little bit once your mic is back together and everything else. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, so you were with me here at Simtrack Broadcast. If you tune into me any other days, I know you'll find me on Wednesdays with the Racing Revolution League. Those guys are getting ready to come up on the Auto Club Speedway tomorrow, so that's going to be a fantastic run out of those guys. And you may see a hit or miss kind of me here on Thursdays here with Coast to Coast. And after that, I believe, not this Saturday, the following Saturday, I believe that ends up landing me about the 24th. Yes, the 24th will be the running of the Graceland Shootout. We're going to have a bunch of guys out there with a throwback for Elvis there, giving those late models a run for their money. Those guys are going to be going door to door at a bunch of short tracks and getting those around. Charlotte Speedway, Bristol, they'll be at a couple mile and a half, and really going ahead, and those great group of guys there going ahead and putting it down. So if you want to join us at Simtrack's Broadcasting, go ahead and check our schedule. And don't forget to check out the schedule here at, at Coast to Coast. I mean, these guys do have it up there on that C2CRL.com. You'll be able to find out everything you like to see. If you like seeing 410s, you'll be able to see 410s. You want to watch NASCAR? We got NASCAR. If you want to see the midgets, if you want to see the 360, 305, and there's a little piece for everybody out here at Coast to Coast. And they even, they'll even teach you how to drive with their racing school. So, and that's hard, hard to say. A lot of places don't do that, but they definitely do it here. They care about their drivers, and they definitely want to put on the best show for you viewers out there as well. But we have the pace car, lights are off. These guys are going to be able to go ahead and get this thing rounded back up, back together. We'll see if any of these other drivers out there can go ahead and survive, kind of recover on this one. If the cautions breed caution, John Hine will have another chance to go ahead and boot this one up and be able to push back forward for another run here. Yeah, we'll have to see. It looks like John may be behind only a lap right now, and hopefully not too many after that. I know he's trying to get his VR kind of booted up here. Yeah. We'll have to see how that works out here. And away we... All right, we'll get back away. 77 of Bob Light Chevrolet going ahead and taking us away back on another restart here. Another restart. The first restart, but another start here as he goes ahead and takes that inside line. Preston Cranmer going ahead and keep minding his P's and Q's there on that outside line. You will see a lot of drivers here that wiggle around, man. That is going to be tough for them to kind of contend with. Let's go ahead and get you a nice little cockpit look here. What it's like to get out front. Gotta love it. There from Preston Cranmer. But let's take that Michelin chopper view. You'll see that wiggling I'm talking about. We kind of dive into turn 3 here, and these guys are going to kind of weave. Watch how it kind of settles in a little bit. See how it goes? That too just caught the wall. Hopefully he's not collecting everybody. All right, it looks like Christopher Berger there was able to stay, contend and stay collected. So no trouble out of him so far. Let's go ahead and get back to the racing up front here. A lot of guys driving around. A lot of fast guys. And it looks like another caution is out. And I believe Dittmer may have been. So this, some of those drivers that are laps down, this will be a good chance to rejoin and get collected back up. But we're going to go ahead and get caught back up for another caution replay here. And let's find out what happened to Brandon Dittmer here in the back. And it did not go well for him. I do not know if he was the culprit who kind of started all this here, but we'll take a look there and see who ended up bending it. I believe Richard Holland may have been some trouble there, but we'll all take a look at it here and kind of see what it looks like here with the 161 of Richard Holland. All right, let's take a quick little peek here. How around we go? Oh, nope. I was wrong on that one. Let's get to Brandon Dittmer. Let's try a different angle on Dittmer here and kind of see what happened with him. As you kind of see, we are getting collected here. Let's roll it back here just a little bit. And the 161 up there. I had the 116, excuse me. It's the 161 that got turned around. It was not the 116 of Richard Holland. Quick correction there. So, Landis and Dittmer get into each other here. And you kind of see how it goes 3 wide, 56 rides high, kind of rides the wall there a little bit. And then, yeah, just run out of real estate. 83 gets into Landis here. Turns the 48 around. And definitely collects a lot of cars on the way out. Man, that is a bang-up job here. These guys are getting absolutely obliterated. Cars getting up in the air. 76 getting it. We got a guy riding his roof. We got a guy riding his roof here. All the way down the front stretch. Wow. Yeah, definitely a lot of carnage from these guys. Fortunately, John Hine here did say we had a new fast repair here. Wow. Wow. All right. We do have a little time. I want to see if I can kind of track down the guy who ended up on his lid. And I believe it may have been Dittmer who ended up upside down. So, kind of what caused the wreck and what happened here. We'll definitely take kind of a ride along on the inside here. Let's see what he saw and if there's anything he could have done to get this one done for him. As we get this underway here. All right, riding around with Brandon Dittmer here. Man, and then that's all he sees is asphalt. Oh, he won't stop. All right, so he is going to be able to go ahead and get back out on the track here, which is always a good thing. But hopefully some of our guys are going to be able to go ahead and get collected up here. All right, let's see if we can get caught back up with John here. John, man, how's it going? You back out on track yet?
I am, and then, man, I don't know what's going on here. I've pitted here, and it's not letting me take a fast repair, and I got a big sign that says I need to pit for repairs.
Uh-oh.
Wow. Yeah. I guess I'm destined to have these repairs.
All right, let's see if we can get that drone footage out there and see if we can see. Yeah. If it's telling you have something wrong, I am not seeing it. Your car looks like it ain't got a scratch on it.
Yeah, I've got the meatball flag and everything going on.
All right. Huh.
I guess we'll let her rip and see what happens here.
All right. Well, glad to see you are back in here. You are one lap down. So, a couple more cautions, lucky dog, and man, you'll be back out front. But as I believe, we are up here with Preston Cranmer in the lead. Bob Light fell back to the 3rd position. Pace car lights are out. So that is going to start Preston Cranmer and Jason Sams up here 1 and 2 on the track. 911 machine riding on the outside. Bob Light, Jeffrey Kemper 3 and 4. Pat Boyce and Jackson Lomax here 5 and 6. Joseph Canellis, Jeremy Tate, Christopher Berger there, and I believe John Rayner there in the 10th position. We'll kind of see how this gets going back for him. So Preston Cranmer going to bring us to our next restart. If he does not start in the restart zone, that is going to go ahead and give us Barney up in the booth. He's going to take over and fly the green flag if he decides not to restart, and away we go. So back under green, Jason Sams goes ahead and slides out front on the outside line, but not for long, as that inside line is going to prove to be faster at the beginning of the race. Preston Cranmer working that inside and getting a good push there from Bob Light there on the bottom, taking that draft off the back of that car. And really, you're starting to see a lot of speed out of these guys. And I'm hoping we're able to stay under green for a good while. I'm sure, you know, these guys would love to do it. It's just these cars get loose on them. They're not used to it. There's no problem. It happens. Fortunately, like you said, we do have some faster pairs out here. And these guys are going to be able to contend as we're getting ready to get a quick drive-through here.
And I got disqualified.
Boy, time to have a little chat with race control there and see what happens.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm wondering if sometimes the meatball flags can stay out too long, but you should have been able to leave pit and then re-enter right back in. That way you can go ahead and get fixed. If you can't...
I made 2 pit stops there, and it didn't clear it either time.
Oh,
unbelievable.
Boy. Oh, boy. So now you're DQ'd. So now you're up in the booth with me. Boy,
we got another wreck on the backstretch.
Oh, no. Right now, we're still under green. Got a couple of guys, looks like Mark Gilbert back here, kind of slowed up from that. Looks like everything's still staying pretty. In the middle of that, so all right, let's go ahead and float back up to our guys here in 12th position. We're really kind of battling out here, top and bottom. We're taking a look here at Brian Dickinson, the 122 car, hanging out there in the back. Kind of watching this pile in front of him, and this is kind of the spot where I end up when I'm racing. I'm kind of watching the guys in front of me. Unfortunately, you're stuck in that dirty air, and you're kind of depending on somebody to slip up here. Make a move maybe toward the inside and slide up real high. You can take this to Daytona 3 wide, but it is definitely dangerous. It is dangerous to try to get around here. Driving fly by through those cars, and that's what you like to hear about NASCAR. These guys getting up, riding about 195 miles an hour right now. They're in the 3rd position, so you definitely see a lot of speed out of these trucks here at Daytona. 50 laps of this one to go, and now we're starting to get green flags. So these guys starting to settle in, starting to feel what it's like, you know, with these, cars starting to kick it into gear to get up front. As you see Brian Dickens going ahead and changing his line, moving there toward the inside and tucking in behind the 68 of Neil Strauss.
Oh, they made contact up front, and there goes another one to the inside.
Yeah, we are definitely working our way up front there. We were looking at Joseph Pinellas there, and we saw a lot of smoke. So Preston Cranmer back to the 2nd position. Jason Sams now leads. Bob Light still in 3rd. And Christopher Berger there in the 4th position. He's moved up 5 spots so far this run, and right now I'm watching in our ticker here, Michael Berthet in the 95 Chevrolet is up 19 spots. So we are starting to see, looks like 1 through 6, these guys are already starting to thin out here a little bit. And Michael Berthet, really on the move. He has obviously figured out what that aerodynamic bubble, and that's what you're going to see. Is you kind of sit in that happy spot, kind of right about where he is. You are getting that clean air, but the draft is hitting you right about windshield height. And you're going to start picking up a boatload of speed. He is up 23 spots here on this race. So a lot of moving here, moving parts. As you see, these guys are starting to single file real well here, and it's really a good idea to stay up and away on the track here. But I want to take a little look here and see if we can get that drone footage out there on Michael Berthet. There we are. We are getting kind of hovering over top of these cars. That drone definitely has a hard time with the sound of these engines out there. You are seeing what these guys, look how it's moving. Kind of like a snake. You know, these guys are starting to kind of bob and weave out there. But still, regardless, great driving by a lot of these drivers out there. Not a whole lot has changed out there. 1 through about 8th position. Still got Jason Sams, Cranmer. Oh, there we go. It looks like Bob Light goes ahead and makes his move. They're on the outside line, but he's got to get some help there. From Berger in the 2 Toyota. These guys got to work together to get pushed up front. And as you can see, as it looks like Christopher Berger there doing a good job. Hanging behind him, not touching him, but going and keeping that aerodynamic bubble to get that 77 pushed up front. And what he does, Bob Light leads a lap, pushing up front, which has now moved Chris into the 2nd position. We'll rotate up a little bit and kind of get you a good look at kind of how that outside line is forming up. And now would not be a time to bail out on that. That outside line is working perfectly right now. Now that track is starting to set in. Go ahead and pull up our weather app here a little bit. Track temperature is up to 95 degrees now. So they are starting to feel it. This thing's getting around here, and that track is now coming to them. You've got to be careful. It looks like we're back there in the 9th position. Brian Dickens definitely starting to see a 3-wide issue. Starting to brew up there a little bit. No problem there. It looks like Michael Berthet still on the move. 95 machine all the way up to 8th position as we are coming up on some lap traffic. So we'll have to see if anything. Oh boy. Lap traffic jammed up that inside line. Here we go. These guys are going to start jamming up, and now we've got a wreck. Lapped car got in the way and is now tangling everybody up here. John, this is what you hate to see, man. Man, when you start getting tangled up with the lapped car and it causes this.
Yeah, that. But in all fairness, with the lap car or the cars that cause the wreck there, it just, man, it just happens so quick, and the slightest movement, as close as they are, it just piles them up.
Yeah, good asphalt etiquette is if you are a lapped car, you either ride high or you get down on the apron, because, I mean, when you got somebody, like Steven Bixler here back in the 75 machine, he thought everything was A-okay, and he still got tangled up in that wreck. And you just, man, I hate when that happens, because I think the whole thing is it's kind of avoidable. You get your way up front, everything's smoothing out, and then it just accordioned its way back, and nobody had anywhere to go. And really, the best thing to do is to dive off the track, get on the apron there, and then get back into the draft at the back end of the field. You're already a lap down. I mean, I wouldn't recommend blocking the field.
Yeah, but when they caught him, if he dove down, he was going to miss that corner. He just held it right on the yellow line there, and I mean, I'll be honest with you. I don't know that the lap guy there did anything wrong. Bill Calder's the guy, and he did exactly what he's supposed to do. He stayed on that yellow line. If he would have done exactly what you said, he was carrying so much speed, he'd have hit that apron in turn one and washed right up and taken the field out. This is a thing of where guys have to have awareness. Looking ahead, they got to see that car and start taking, knowing that you're probably going to have to lift or off the pace or something, and it's an unfortunate racing deal is all that is. Like I said, 325 did absolutely nothing wrong there.
Yeah, we're just kind of taking a peek here of that pileup. Yeah, just don't know on that one, man. That was rough because it just collects so many cars up in that one.
Yep, and a lot of that has to do, right? They caught him at the worst possible time, right? Coming up the corner entry. If you're on the back straightaway, get below the yellow line, lift, let the field go by. It's not that easy once you get to corner entry, because if you get out on that apron, carrying the 170 mile an hour that they're going, well, you're just gonna go back across that yellow line, upset the truck, and end up wrecking guys too. So he was in a damned if you did, a damned if you didn't situation. And like I said, I think he did the right thing, to be honest with you, and stayed right on the yellow line. He did move around, but it just stinks for a lot of really good guys there. They got their stuff tore up, but good news, they've got those fast repairs, so let's use them up here and line them up and go back at it. Got a long way to go yet.
Oh yeah, only 18 laps out of 50 on this one so far. Third caution out here for tonight. Appreciate y'all joining us here at Coast to Coast and at Simtrax Broadcasting here up in the booth. Patrick Morrison along with John Hine here, man. Really, we are seeing a definite switch up. I mean, this definitely moves a lot of the field. I mean, one person I want to mention, Michael Berthet here in this 95 Chevrolet. Right now, he has moved 32 positions here. I mean, he is the guy from back of the field to the front. He now has a top 3 shot. And possibly, at this point, as well as he's driving, I'd almost think, this dude's aiming definitely for the win. I mean, other honorable mentions here. Andrew Smith, 79 Toyota, up 15 positions. Randy Shreves, we talked to him, and his 56 Chevrolet, up 18 positions. So a lot of big guys, you know, moving around a lot. You know, and some of them, you know, like Joseph Canellis, back in one Chevrolet, back 26 positions. I don't know if he is.
Yeah, he's
able to make
loaded
it.
up. He's loaded up, but not in the trailer.
Yeah, he may be out. Yeah, along with a couple of these other guys here. Man, it just hate to see it, man.
I'm still salty about that weird DQ. I guess iRacing's mad at me for something, but man, I just this looks like fun.
Yeah, it's definitely hard to get reloaded. I mean, that's for sure. You know, you get these guys that, you know, get a good shot at it, get a heck of a chance, and then it just, you know, it just doesn't pan out. And especially when you got a hardware issue, man. You hate to see that happen. But, all right, so we're going to go ahead and get to our guys up here in the top 10. Bob Light survives that wreck that was there in his Chevrolet, going ahead and leading with Preston Kramer up front. The safest positions, 1 and 2. So Christopher Berger, Michael Berthet, 3 and 4. Andrew Smith, Jason Sams, 5 and 6. 7th is Brian Dickens. Neil Strausser there in the 8th position. Is 4th. Greg Cornell there in the 9th position. And Matt Boyce there in the 10th. We'll have to see how this one goes. I mean, we're looking at the pace car. Lights are off, and we're going to get back underway and try to give this another round. Fortunately, faster pairs are able to keep a lot of these trucks on the track. A bunch of guys are lapped down. You know, you almost need everybody to pit, but all right, we are back under green. Slow restart there from Bob Light. Away we go. So a lot of those guys able to kind of set up here, which kind of a slow restart like that ends up bunching the field up, and everybody kind of stays close and tight knit together. So we'll kind of see how this works out for Cranmer on the outside, which I'm sure is enjoying that inside line, getting that slow turn. Back to the second position there, so here comes the outside where Preston Cranmer is working there again with Christopher Berger. So these guys have been working well together, and I'm hoping to see these guys don't really kind of separate from each other. Keep that outside line true, and you'll be able to hold around these turns and get a lot of speed. Tires are not a factor here. Wear is, but you know the amount of tires you guys have, no issues. 50% on the fuel tanks, and we are tangled out here in the back. Going to bring out another caution. Man, these guys are backing at each other to pieces. Go ahead and see if we can find out a couple of guys. 91 of Dale White. He's smoking really bad there. All right, let's go ahead and figure it out.
I think Dale was right in the middle of that.
Yeah, we'll have to kind of take a peek here.
Yeah, it looked like the 22, I don't know if he lifted, but the 83 tried to make a move to go under him and just turned Dale White, just drove right down into his quarter panel when he did it. Yeah, it looks like the 22 might have got up into the wall a little bit and broke his momentum, and 83 went below him, and it just kind of pushed the 91 just right around.
Yeah, Joe Halter here hits the wall. 83. Brandon Dittmer again trying his best to get out of there, and then just it just ends up tangling everybody up. Man, you see the carnage here. Just start collecting cars, man. Oof. Yeah, definitely not what you want to see. Dale White trying his best. Here as we're watching just continue to spin. Bunch of guys heading down pit road. I'm hoping race control can kind of wipe some of those black flags because it was a caution there. Boy, yeah, that was going to collect up a lot of drivers there, man.
Yeah, a lot of sheet metal been up so far.
Yeah, a little cavitation there from our chopper view here. But all right, let's go ahead and get us back live and see who survived and who didn't. All right, looks like he's down pit road now. And we are taking a look here at Dale White. He may have been in here. I'm not gonna lie. He's not gonna be happy about that. Kind of your situation there. You know, you want to go out there and put on a good show. But now this dials him all the way back to the 28th position.
Yeah, I mean, you can only control what you can control, and you know, I mean, um, you know, I get more upset when I make a mistake and screw something up, where all of a sudden I get a bad finish because of something I did behind the wheel. And yeah, sure, I get a little irritated with, you know, and everybody does, if somebody else causes you to have an issue. But you know, at the end of the day, you just gotta keep your both feet on the ground and realize, you know, like I said, you can only control what you control, and do your best with what you got, and then hopefully if you do good enough, it shakes out where you're up front.
Yeah, right you are, and we're still, you know, being able to figure, and really kind of, you hate to run out of fast repairs at this point. It's nice having that cushion behind you that, you know, if I do get in trouble, I still have another chance. You know, at that point, you're just fighting fuel and you're fighting laps. But, you know, it's going to start kind of winding down. We're almost to that halfway point. And unfortunately, 4 cautions into this one so far. I'd like to see that chat light up a little bit more. I'll see how you guys are doing out there. No, this is unusual, actually, for Coast-to-Coast Dirt Series. You know, we're going ahead and giving these guys a shot out here on the asphalt. I think it's a good idea, a good roundabout for these guys. You know, see how they, how well they do out here. A lot of Class A drivers out here being able to, kind of lay down some rubber here at Daytona. I'm glad you guys are joining me here at Simtrax Broadcasting. John Hine, man, just hardware issues, and unfortunately now you are permanently in the booth and out of the truck. But you know, appreciate you being up here tonight with me, man.
Yeah, like I said, having a good time, and we'll see what we can, if we can get up and give you something to talk about here in the next few weeks as we do this.
All right, yeah, and I really appreciate it, man. Coast-to-Coast signing on Simtrax Broadcasting. This will be one of my finest moments, man. I'm really glad. I know you guys have a lot of viewers out there that love coming and watching racing. I love watching racing, kind of giving you, and being able to also have somebody up here that, you get another angle, you get something, maybe another race situation. I may not be that strong in dirt, but asphalt is where it's at, and same kind of with you. You know out there on dirt what to expect, and yep. Here on asphalt, and it's really fantastic, and I appreciate you being up here, bud.
Yeah, lucky I'm well versed in both dirt, asphalt, and I actually do a lot of road racing too, so got a lot of seat time in the sim here.
All right, yeah, and especially with your safety rating, I envy you. I just lost my A license for a couple of crummy drivers out there, but who's not driving crummy right now is Michael Berthet, who's going to start on the outside of Bob Light here in the 95 Chevrolet as we go ahead and bring it to another restart here at Daytona. Hopefully these guys can kind of calm it down a little bit and show me what we did earlier in the race. These guys are going ahead and, side by side. I love to see it. It does take a toll on you. You've got to stay concentrated. You've got to watch where you're driving and listen to your spotters. It looks like we got a 3-wide situation there toward the back. All right, hopefully.
Yeah, that's not what you want quickly after a restart, because that's where trouble can happen again. Guys just got to. Wow!
No, Berger, look out! Right now, no caution. Holy cow, no caution. And that is going to put Michael Berthet 34 spots up from where he started into the lead.
Yeah, and that's Bob White. Bob has got to be one of the favorites to not only win this. He was one of the favorites to win this race, but he had to be one of the favorites to win this championship.
Wow. Yeah, definitely difficult to see. I know some guys are riding high in the turn, almost like how you guys do in dirt, looking for the grip, but that is not how high you want to be. Stay below the dash lines. Holy cow.
Yeah, and that one was completely on the number 2 there. He was pushing along there, and his pushing partner went from the high side to the low side. The number 2 there of Christopher Berger tried to follow him, but when he did, he just drove right across the 77 there. So that goes back to having that awareness. You got to know when you're clear and whatnot, and rely on your spotters and whatnot. So tough break for both those guys. So hopefully the cautions can fill out where they need them and get back in this thing.
Yeah, and the key as well is not to slide across the bumper. Bump draft is one thing, being able to, put the bumper to the front grille there and give somebody a push, but you do not want to slide. And as much as you see somebody like that 122 of Brian Dickens right there making a lot of moving around, you don't want to, when you try to draft behind a guy like that, we can end up in some more trouble. As You know, you want to push the guy, but if he starts sliding across your nose, you may get caught up in another wreck here. So definitely got to hold it steady. Oh boy, here we go. Yeah, we definitely have Brian Dickens here in the view.
If I'm behind someone that's moving around that much, I try to either get around them or I get in a different lane to find somebody else. But boy, they are sneaking around a heck of a lot here. And, you know, I hate to sound like a broken record because I know I said it several times last week, but if you're going to change lanes, you better know that you're clear to do it or you're going to cause a big wreck.
Yeah. I do like the way what Brian Dickens is trying to do. I do see him trying to use that door draft a little bit, and I think what keeps happening is he's coming in and out of that draft. You know, it's working for him a little bit, but as soon as he comes back out of it, all of a sudden it's loosening up the front end of his car. It's slamming it back out on the ground, and he's having trouble kind of holding it there. As we're taking a quick little Goodyear blimp view here.
What I'm thinking is going on is he's right out on his door, and he's reacting to the guys, because if you watch as he gets down and starts to utilize that side draft, it moves the guys on the inside around a little bit, and when it does that, he moves away from them, and now we got another caution here.
Uh-oh. We'll have to see who ended up causing this one. No, checking here that we had some trouble there in the back of it. I do not know if that was who ended up bending it here. Let's see.
Yeah, I don't know who it was on.
Replay here. Give us just a second. We'll see if we can find it here. Definitely harder than it looks trying to find out who it was, but I believe Roger Craig may have been involved in another incident here, unfortunately. Let's see if we can get us a good angle of this replay here. 747, kind of the light teal car. We got that blimp view here, and let's try to take a peek and see what happened at 747. Oh, bank right there.
Yeah, I'm taking a look here, and yeah, he's closing up to a slower car on the outside. Oh, and Joe Halter just moves up the track and gets them, and that's, like you said, you've got to hold a steady wheel here, or that kind of thing happens there. Tough break for Roger. He's got to probably getting close to not only running out of his fast repairs, but I don't know what the incident level here is. That's 30, so he's probably still quite a ways away from 30.
Yeah, we're taking a little look here at this. There we go. Finally got that drone tuned in here, and we're going to take another peek here. Ooh.
Yeah, watch the 22 just kind of go up the track there. I think the car in front of the 22 blinked a little bit, and that might be why he moved up the track there. But you know who this is a big break for? The two that we saw get in trouble there. That 77 of Bob White and the number 2 of Chris Berthay here. So they're going to be able to get their fast repairs. I don't think Bob has lost a lap. And I don't know that the number 2 has either. They're both on the lead lap, so now they're going to be able to get those cars, 2 trucks fixed. Remember, those are 2 guys that were up front. And now they're going to be able to get back at it here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. We'll have to see how many drivers did end up keeping okay. I know probably pretty soon would be a good time to start bidding. Let's see, Randy Olson pit back on lap 21 along with Tim Chapman.
Yeah, I would be pitting here just for the sole reason I could almost, I think, make it to the end maybe, or maybe only do it on one more stop. So, yeah, this would be a good time to bring her in.
Yeah, especially going in and stopping the fuel there. Looking really good out here. And let's see, you know what I want to do? Let's see if I can find her. Let's see if I can find her. Let's see, where is, there you are. Alright, let's see if we can have a little conversation. Let's see. Alright, Preston Cranmer, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Oh man, dude, you have been up front all night so far. Go ahead and talk me through, you know, I know this is the safest place for the fresh air is working for you. How's the car feeling up front?
Yeah, it's been good. Got a little dicey that last row up front with the that hadn't been up there, or at least that I hadn't run with up there, and just didn't know their style quite as much. So it was a little bit choppier, but so far so good. I don't think I have any incidents yet, so just kind of managing here. Took a little gamble by not pitting, so we'll see what happens.
All right, yeah, definitely might be an idea here pretty soon. We know you pit back on lap 17, and it's definitely going to kind of play into what you do for the rest of the race here. You know, with you running up front, is there anybody you're nervous about really giving you a run for your money so far?
Yeah, there's a lot of guys, but I mean, you know, Bob Light, he dominates in pretty much all of our asphalt stuff. So I've been up here with him. We work well together too. So I'd like to get in tow with him, but he'll probably beat me if he catches me. So we'll see what happens.
All right, well, we'll go ahead and write that down. Bob Light, you were nervous about him. Right now he's back in the 18th position, and you were coming back up on a green flag restart, sir, so we will send you right back, and that way you can go and get ready here, bud.
Yeah, man, let's do it.
All right, we're going to send him back to Park Creeks there. All right, Preston Cranmer, there he was, so we have a little conversation with him. And really, it's starting to boil down. You know, we're past that halfway mark, you know, and the guys are starting to now, we're collecting incident points. We're running out of fast repairs, so we got to watch the amount of time. I don't know if there's going to be a drive-through for Roger Craig, but we'll have to see. But right now, let's go ahead and keep our eyes up here on Preston Cranmer here in the in his 07 there on the inside line. So I know he said he's worried about Bob Light, but Bob Light has a long way to go to go ahead and get his way back up here. But John, dude, this is starting to boil down to be, you know, the top 5 guys. If they can stay clean, they got a good chance of duking it out here toward the end.
Yeah, they sure do here, and you know, like I said, don't write that 77 off yet. He, like I said earlier, I'm not only favored to win this race, but probably battle for the championship here in this series. So he's a smart driver, and he's still got plenty of time to pick his way up through there. We saw Michael Berthay, you know, come from back starting around the 30th position, drive his way up, so it can be done.
Yeah, Berthay right now back in the 12th position. What I want to talk about is Tim and Zach Chapman up in the Chevrolets, 37 and the 72. Tim is up 30 positions. I mean, that dude, this guy is on the move. And Zach Chapman here up in the 2nd position, kind of fighting on that inside line there. I do see him touching a little bit of that yellow line there. But 72 made a really gutsy move there in front of the 07 of Preston Cranmer to go ahead and seal that 2nd position and kind of cut him off from any more advancement. We got a couple of guys, look like Steven Bixler there. He's up 21 positions there on the outside line with the 911 of Jason Sams. So you will see it kind of get a little wishy-washy here, sliding back and forth, back and forth, back and forth up on that top line. But, you know, once it kind of warms up and gets feeling good, it'll get going here, boy. Sorry about that, John. It looked like these guys were getting ready to start sliding around again.
They sure did coming off that corner, and they're still moving around there. And you know, lap 33, those guys are getting aware. They can see the end of this race in sight here. So, you know, if you're back, you know, anywhere from 10th on back, you've got to start making moves because it's going to take you 5, 6, 7, 8 laps to work your way to the front. By the time you get there, then it's going to take you another few laps to try to get the lead if you're fast enough. So it's go time for some of these guys.
All right, 122 of Brian Dickens found that aerodynamic bubble and is now picking up a boatload of speed, which is now going to send him 3 wide. Oh boy. Oh boy, come on, you. Boy. Yep.
I saw that one coming right when they entered the corner. Again, this is going to be a situation where driver just trying to change lanes and it's just not clear.
Man.
Now 48 goes up to try to get in that top lane, but unfortunately there's a car that was outside and it was on.
Yeah, the 48, yeah, Roland Olson there kind of got a little too much, a little overzealous on that switch.
Bob White got destroyed in this one. He may have to tow. Oh, he had slowed down. And he just got killed from a guy trying to drive back up on the track.
Yeah.
Oh, that is horrible luck.
We're kind of hanging out here with the 48 and kind of watch how this continues here.
Yeah, and that's one where, this is where the inexperience comes from. Guys should be holding their brakes, and you know, when you do that, and it looked like the 397 was trying to get back up on the track, thought he was under control of it, but when you got cars going every which way, again, you don't know where anybody is, and man, that is a really tough break for Bob.
Yeah, this is a lot of carnage here. It's not looking good. Man. All right, out there in the chat, Stellar Stella, at least not much going out here tonight. At least you're making it exciting. I appreciate that. And John does too out here in the chat. Boy, we are seeing that a lot of these drivers kind of getting just tangled up here, and we're just still watching the wreck happen here. As we see Bob Light, yep, right there, the 77 sliding backwards across our screen. Boy, yeah, that's definitely going to change it for some of these drivers, if not ruin the last of their night, because that may be it for them. But you know what? Let's go ahead and take a ride with Bob Light. I want to take a ride along with him.
Yeah, and you'll see him get rode up and do everything right. And I'm going to suggest, as hard as he got hit, that 397, I'm guessing was probably on the throttle trying to speed and then get back, turned around as quickly as he could not to lose spaces, and just destroys them.
All right, let's get Bob Light here. Let's take a ride along with him and see what he saw at full speed. Here we go. All right, here it comes. Good check. Good line change. Perfect. Excellent. Yes. No. Oh, no. Oh.
Yeah. He did everything right to get through that and not get hit. And sure enough, man, like I said, that I thought I had bad luck tonight. That was worse luck than even I had.
Yeah, that was perfect driving by him on that. Being able to check up and kind of see that come around and then just get destroyed. I mean, oh my God. Man, good thing for a fast repair because he's got another shot, but starting 26th is not where you want to be. I mean, yeah, we're just continuing in there. I mean, you think he passed about 12, 13 guys and then just the last car, and that just seems to be what gets you. So,
yeah, but unfortunately now he is a lap down, and he's not even the first car lap down, so he's got to try to get to that first car lap down to get that lucky dog. So that's the first thing on his checklist now.
Yeah, it's definitely getting around and getting their way back up there. All right. And somebody we haven't mentioned before, Dan McLaren up here.
Yeah, Dan's solid in these trucks. Dan's quite a good asphalt driver here, so yeah, he'll be a guy to watch here. But both those Chapman guys, they're also pretty good in these things too. So we've got some good guys up front here. This is going to be a show here these last 14 laps or so.
Yeah, especially Tim Chapman. Is this the same Tim Chapman that is sponsoring the series?
The one and the same.
All right. Well, always glad to come out here and the one you sponsor, go ahead and give these boys a run for their money here at Daytona. I believe next week we are going to be at Talladega, I believe. Don't quote me on that. I can double check that real quick. We're getting back underway here in just a little bit. Daytona, and next week, yes, we are at Talladega. So if you think this racing's tough and difficult to do, you ought to watch them do it at Talladega. 3 wide is nothing short of fun there, but man, three wide, I've seen 4 before, but it takes a lot of skill and a lot of bumping and driving. So here we go. Looks like Dickens and McLaren are going to bring us to our next restart here with 14 to go here at Daytona. A lot of my Racing Revolution guys out there in the chat. Glad to see you here. Nick Alves, Kevin Orlando, Peyton Presley. Excellent. I'm glad you guys had a good practice. You guys will be joining you guys tomorrow night. But right now, here we are at the Coast2Coast Racing League at Daytona. So these guys are going ahead and expect to do a lot of super speedway racing, which to me, I have no problem with that. I always have fun at the super speedways. Right now, Dan McLaren is enjoying his time out front in the light in his 88 Toyota. Leading the race right now. I'm sure he'd like to go ahead and get a lead lap here, but Brian Dickens there in the 122 starting to use that door draft again, see if he can go ahead and stay on the bottom. Preston Cranmer, man, the man of many tricks here, going ahead and staying out of so much trouble here. I'm especially surprised there, John, that he didn't get caught up there with when Bob Light got turned around.
Yeah, and you just saw how lucky, I mean, how luck plays into getting through those things. You see a guy that does everything right and then got clobbered, and I'm sure, he also did something right and got through and didn't have that bad luck befall on him.
Yeah, here we go, man. This is awesome. This is man, this is amazing racing. I'm glad. I'm getting blown away by you guys out there in the chat. I'm glad everybody's showing up. Kevin Orlando, yeah, I'm flying through the air. This is not good, that one driver. So yeah, these guys are getting sent to the moon, but it's not for lack of trying. Some of these guys are running hard lines out here. As you can see, these top four, there's hardly any room. If you look up at the gap there on our ticker, these guys are starting to really squeeze together. I mean, they're only separated by about 2/10 from the first place to 6th. So these guys super fast right now. I don't think anywhere right now. Everybody pit back on lap 34, except believe Brian Dickens in the 122 machine. He pit back on lap 28. Everybody else pit on 34. As we were going through that massive crash, Dickens getting loose.
Yeah, that's Preston.
Oh no! Whoa! What was that?
Somebody, Cape Canaveral is about an hour away, so I think someone should notify him. We just had a launch.
Oh my God! I've never seen that happen before.
I didn't know who that was.
That car spun around and sent straight.
I hope they weren't in VR, because man, that
sent him straight to the stratosphere.
That was Preston, and Preston, I do believe, is in VR. Oh, I got to go into his car. I'm in VR. I got to know what that looks like.
Holy cow. All right. Well, we are going to watch Preston Cranmer, who's I'm sure going to give me an earful after this because I told him. All right. Here we go. Let's take a look at Preston Cranmer. So we know Preston Cranmer in the 07. Watch this. As the 122 of Dickens gets loose.
I think he hit the blimp.
All right. Let's see. Ready? Whoa! Oh, it maxed him out, and he's still going. Oh no!
I'm gonna tell you, I was in VR and I watched it from his in-car, and I'm not feeling so well.
Holy cow! What in the world? What in the world was that? All right, let's go ahead and get us a few angles of this. We'll take a ride along with him, and then we'll try to find one of these other guys who hopefully tried to survive some of this. Let's go ahead and get that cockpit view. All right, everybody, I know. If you can't take it, you're going to have to close your eyes on this one. Here we go, Peyton Presley. Dude, look out. Holy cow. Hey, we're back.
Yeah, that's just unbelievable.
Holy cow, Ryan Newman would be impressed.
Yeah, like I said, Cape Canaveral is about an hour south of here in the Kennedy Space Center, and I think somebody just probably got on the phone with Elon Musk and make sure that he wasn't launching anything.
Holy cow, that was insane. All right, let's see if we can find one of these other guys here. If some of these numbers will line up. Let's see. I know. There's another one. Mark Gilbert. I want to take a little peek at him here. Because he was really in a nasty situation there, kind of running it up the gut.
Yeah.
And ended up getting caught. Let's see if we can get a good view here.
Yeah, and luckily this is just virtual racing, because we'd have been notifying his next of kin after that one.
Yeah. Right in the center here is that 76 of Mark Gilbert here. So let's go ahead and roll it. Tangle up. Nowhere to go. And around he goes. Up into the fence.
Yeah, that wiped out. I think that encompassed about half the field.
Alrighty. And out there in the chat, you guys are excellent. You guys are catching things I didn't. Peyton Presley out there saying the downshift in midair is what got me. Yes, there a lot got me on that one. That was amazing. But fortunately, hopefully, some of those guys can get back on the track. I believe 19th down right now is showing about a lap down. All right, let's go ahead and get us back live here. Holy cow, what in the world? This has become quite the brawl here at the Coast to Coast Racing League here, guys.
These all trucks. Most of these trucks look like they just got back from Martinsville at this point.
Holy cow, yeah, this is... And you wouldn't think we'd be as playing bumper cars as much as we are, but, you know, some racing incidents, you know, some... I can't say I've seen any net code. Some of these are some just not enough room. You know, they look like Dickens came down a little bit and unfortunately got Cranmer tied up in that.
And just keep in mind, too, there's a lot of inexperience throughout this field. Guys that don't normally run these. Some of these guys, this may very well be their first truck race. But there's also a lot of guys in here that don't race with each other. There is a lot of guys in here that their names I don't recognize. I've been in C2C for a year and a half, and I've turned a lot of laps in this league, and there's a lot of cats in here I've never raced around or even heard of. And that's not a knock to them, and say they're not saying that they're the ones causing it, but when you get guys around that you don't know, that communication or that, you know, be able to anticipate what somebody's going to do goes away. I mean, if you're behind somebody, you know, hey, you know, this guy's aggressive, I know he'll try to block if I move over, or, you know, you can't anticipate those things if you're behind somebody that's a complete unknown. And all that contributes to what we've seen here tonight.
Alrighty, we're getting a little drive-by through here with all these trucks as we get back under another restart.
And Preston has been located. He's back in 23rd.
All right. So he survives another fast repair, and back away we go. So, all right, and out there in the chat, Robert Rader. Looking forward to the YouTube short for that tomorrow. You are correct, sir. That is quality content, if I do say so myself. So away we go. Plenty of angles of that one. But right now, look at these guys battling up here with 8 to go. Looks like that 37 of Tim Chapman is going to have to figure out how to get his way up there to Andrew Smith in his 79 Toyota. Haven't seen that car out here much up in the front, but here he is.
And it's at the right time, too. We only got about 6-7 laps here to go, so it's on. The pay window is open, and you no longer have friends. It's everybody out for yourselves now.
Yeah, definitely. This is when I expect to see people trading paint and numbers. But right now, you know, I don't expect to see the front 4 to get out of this unscathed. I think the Chapmans are really gonna put it down here. But if they can hold it, because man, there's a lot of wiggling around here.
Yeah, well, if you're in the front 4, you know what? Stay nose to tail. There's no pressure for you to make any kind of moves right now. Push out, see if you can get a nice separation here. But if you're 6th, 7th, 8th, yeah, you got to make some moves. You've got to make something happen. If that means go 3 wide, like what we're seeing right now with Roland Martin, you go 3 wide.
And that is what we're doing. Is we're taking it in. 48 gets it. Can he hold it? Stay stuck, survives. All right. Good. That's the kind of driving I want to see. So 48 still hanging back there. He's now falling back to the 13th position, but still good job.
Yeah, you kind of saw that coming with he had a guy pinched down on the apron. That guy, you got to know that guy's going to want to come back up on the track. Give him a little more room, but good save by Roland.
Yeah, definitely. Starting banging around. Here we go.
Birthday's 3 wide.
Yeah.
He's on a mission.
Yeah, definitely turning it on like how we saw him really earlier in the race, fighting his way up front. Good moves by him, staying that, you know, solid in the middle. A lot of guys you see moving and banging around, but 68's going to jam him, of Neil Strausser. As we were going almost 4 wide there, that was close. All right, so it calms down a little bit. Berthet trying to have him to dial it back and re-aim again, as he's going to have to make this attack in that 95. Definitely fast to see him, but we are 3 wide up here in the front.
It's contact, and there they into the wall.
All right, looks like the 122 may have eaten it. Dickens ate it, but
no caution.
Nope, but they're still collecting cars there in the back. And there they go. Yeah, one of the cars looks like the 22 of Joe Halter. All right, and that'll bring out our 8th caution here.
Yeah, 3 wide there, and McLaren and the 122 get together there, and just the product of really close racing. And well, you just don't see guys because there's no that caution came out late. We saw the contact, guys were out of the throttle, and the guys that were catching up to them full bore, and it just caused an incident.
Yeah, and here we go. So we're taking a look at the 22 car. I did see smoke about midfield as well out there, guys, but I don't know, because you see the two guys clip up here, and they seem to square it away.
Oh, Halter got tagged from the 48 behind him. Yeah, Halter lifted because he saw the smoke. The 48, I mean, it's still green flag. Those guys didn't, and they kind of make contact there, and yeah, and the round went to 22, but hey, we're going to line them up, and I think we're going to have a little bit of a shootout here, maybe.
Yeah, don't think we're close enough yet for that green-white checker, but we'll have to see how that, how this kind of unfolds here. We are seeing, a lot of cautions here, but still, regardless, still good driving. And now, as a racer, I don't think now is a good time to pit. I mean, unless you were in the spin.
Problems up front. Jason Sams under caution. I wonder if he had the same kind of issue I did. Yeah, that looks like a hardware issue and just nails.
Whoa.
Andrew Smith.
Dude. That was weird.
Yeah.
And even John Rayner there. As we're kind of looking at what happened. Yeah.
And Andrew Smith, P3, has to dive to the pits because his car's crab and get a new repair. Again, I hate to bring that up again, but luck. Either it's with you or it's not. It seems just getting through some of this stuff.
Yeah, that was weird. I don't understand kind of what I'm witnessing here.
That looked like the same thing I did. The VR or maybe the monitor or something went out, and he slammed the brakes on and tried to turn it down to get out of the way. And because that's the same thing happened to me earlier. That my screen went blue in the VR. I hung a left because we were single file and got out of the way. But I don't know if Sam's realized it, and by the time he did, it was in the wall. But yeah, I'm gonna bet anything that what you looked there was a hardware issue, some kind of connection issue or something.
Yeah, we did see the 302 of John Rayner get spun out there as well. Looked like Jackson Lomax kind of hammered into the back of him and kind of undid him there. Kind of a bummer for him. 3 to go. When you end up spinning out under caution, it's going to extend the caution by one more lap, so we may have that green-white checkered now as we get these guys to get ready to line up. Hopefully the pace car is able to turn those lights off. As we come around here, we'll take a peek.
Yeah, we might end up just getting a one-lap shootout. Yeah, lights went out, lap 49. We got a green-white checker. So we will get the green-white checker here. We're going to have 2 of them, 2 attempts at it.
Alrighty, and up here in my ticker is saying we are 3 to go. So once we hit the line, we'll hit 2. So we need 1 solid lap of no issues. Once that white flag comes out, they can destroy each other as much as they want because it's at that point survival of the fittest to the end.
And you got the 2 Chapman guys up front here, but I'll tell you, the guy starting in 4th and 6th, Lomax and Birthday, those guys have been highly aggressive. Those are going to be the 2 guys that I'm going to watch on this restart.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye out for them. I'm worried about Roland Olson there. It looked like he's smoking. He may have engine damage. Interesting. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he is.
Interesting.
He's going to stand on that, and hopefully that won't surprise me if that engine doesn't let go before they even get back around for a lap. That's heavy smoke coming out of that truck.
Yeah, he's not going to make it far. Yeah, they maybe just going in and getting around him. I think he knows it just blew the engine.
Roger Craig gave him a EOL penalty, so they're dropping him back, so that's good.
Yeah, but that 41's got to get on the stick here and try to get around him here. We're getting ready to get lined right back up for that restart. So the Chapmans up front, Tim in the front in the 37. Outside is Zach Chapman. And away we go. So, all right, so we need one clean lap, and then we'll have white flag, and we should be able to wrap this one up. Away we go.
Yeah, and then Lomax, I think he may be down on power. I don't know if he called part of that accident. He hit the 90, the 302. I'm going to bet he damaged his motor because he did not go on that start.
Oh, boy, and they are bumping and banging there in the back. Already starting to, some of them sending around, slamming in the walls, but right now still green flag with Tim Chapman out there in the lead.
We got one of them out.
Oh, man, there we go. Zach Chapman looks like he ate it in the infield, but the truck survived. He is not going to be happy about that one. That will drop him back to the 13th position. All right, let's go ahead and get another caution replay up here, and we will be back under green-white checkered for one of those here. Well, probably the second one at this point.
Yeah, and that was that one there.
All right, well,
68 went and tried to make a hole that just wasn't there. So
all right,
Zach got the bad end of the deal on that. So here we go. We're gonna try it. This is the last attempt at the green-white checker here. So it's all or nothing here.
All right, we're taking a look here at that 72 machine, kind of rolling around here. Ooh, oh man, yeah, a little squeeze there, and that did not pan out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, fortunately able to keep it off that inside wall there, and that is that's about as best as you can hope for. Is not totaling the truck.
Yeah, you had John Rayner and Chapman there. They were basically side by side in the 68. I guess I thought he was on a motorcycle because that's about the only thing that would have barely fit between them.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought maybe the draft or maybe try to snug up to that 72 wouldn't come down, but yeah, that's dangerous, especially this late in the race. I tell you what would be an amazing upset is Berthay winning this in that 95 Chevrolet here. I mean, this dude has really been rolling and getting his way up front.
Yeah, and he's in a good position to do that. But I see guys on the inside under the yellow line now, and I can hear them shutting their engines off. So there could be a few guys here that may be a little nervous on fuel, one of which is Dan McLaren. He's on the bottom, and you can definitely hear him trying to save gas. So there's a new wrinkle. And as they say, the plot thickens here.
Boy, that is going to be tough for some of these drivers. So, all right. So, at this point, our top 10, Tim Chapman, Michael Berthay, Ken McLaren. All right. He's back here in the third position. Richard Holland in the fourth. Greg Boydell survives in the 014 Chevrolet, fifth position. Andrew Smith, sixth. Neil Strausser and Jeremy Tate, 7 and 8. Brian Dickens in the 122. Gotten in a bunch of trouble this race so far. But he is ninth, and Jason Lomax going ahead, nailing our round down to our top 10 here. Really, these guys have got to be careful and just try to get this one wrapped up here toward the end. Because I know these guys are, these guys are getting antsy. They're starting to get excited. But it's, where to be and how to get around to stay safe. Taking a look at Jackson Lomax there to see if he had any smoke. I thought you were saying he was a little low on power. But check that out. Bob Light in the 12th position, lead lap. So we'll have, I hope to see him push up for at least the top 10. Yeah.
Yeah, very nice recovery.
Good to see him going ahead and bringing it back, man. This is something here. Pace car lights are still on. I would definitely assume lights are going to turn off for this one and get us back underway. That way these guys can go ahead and grid up. And they do.
Lights went out.
All right. So, John, take away from this race. What a lot of inexperience, but how as a driver, how can we turn this around for Talladega coming up?
guys are gonna have to just be a lot more patient than what they have been. Most of these incidents have come that I've seen from changing lanes, and then maybe some of them not having so much patience there. So, you know, everybody's learning. So, you know, I like to think, wow, I tried to go low there, but I probably should have, you know, been more cognizant of who was below me, and you know, drivers have just learned. So hopefully, you know, some guys that have problems tonight, they can look inward and think about what they did, you know, some things they could have done better. And that's how everybody improves. You know, every race I do, I actually go back, watch the video, look for mistakes that I've made, and try to do better the next time I'm in that particular car.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, man. I do this. I do the same thing even with broadcasting. But people that help people make better is the Steve King Foundation. Steve King Foundation was formed to help the dirt track racing community across the country by providing financial assistance to drivers, pit crew members, racing officials, track operations personnel, or the immediate families of those individuals who suffer serious illness, injury, or death. A really great thing to have out there for them as a sponsorship, as well as the foundation as well, for people in need. Right now, the man in need right now is Tim Chapman to have a good lap here as he goes ahead and brings us to another restart, and they are banging up. Dude.
Yeah, the 0-14 and Anderson there.
Dude.
Boy, they'll just didn't hold it down on the yellow line, and
dude,
that's all it took.
I was hoping it was.
I think that's going to bring Tim Chapman home.
Yeah, I was hoping that was just going to be, you know, maybe a tire spin, and this happened, but that was disgusting. That was terrible on that restart here. Let's go ahead and get us a look here. This is going to be a pile-up, so we're got our eyes on the 014 here.
Yeah, and you see that he doesn't, you know, if you're starting, you've got to know the other guys are probably pretty tight down on you on the start. You've got to hold that truck down on that yellow line. And he moved up maybe half a lane, which I know wasn't much, but it was enough. And that, you know, that ended the race.
Wow.
And again, that goes back to, you know, everybody is here and trying to learn here. This is new for most of these guys. Some of these guys, I'll bet, probably first time they're on the asphalt. Go back, watch a tape, you know, and say, wow, I wish I could have that back. And then maybe, you know, next time, you know, and I'm not trying to pick on Greg or anything like that, but, you know, I look at that and I'm like, okay, I saw that I came up off that line. Next time I start on the bottom, I'm going to make more of an effort to stay on that yellow line. You know, it was just a small mistake, and like I said, he didn't move over much, but on a start like that, you know, guys are tight. You know, it doesn't take a whole lot.
Yeah, you guys are definitely adding pictures to my montage after this one. Let's go ahead and get a look at Bob Light here.
You know what? That whole deal, he's going to come home, like you said, in the top 10 easy.
He made it out of that, though.
Yes, he did.
He made it out of that. What an excellent job.
P6.
What?
He's got to be tickled with that after what happened.
No kidding.
And same thing with Preston. Preston did a moonshot and was able to get back to the track and still come back up to 13th.
Wow. Yeah, definitely interesting to see. Just, I mean, how close. I want to take another look here at Bob Light in the 77 as they tangle up. Get a little bit of a spotter position here.
And Bob's wreck avoidance skills, you saw it earlier. This just tells you, I mean, this tells you the kind of caliber Bob is. He's top notch on asphalt here. And then, yeah, if there's a guy you want to get behind and learn, find that 77 on the track and get behind him, and you will learn a ton.
Yeah, that is something right there. That is, oh my, I can't get over that. The 77 squeaking through. I mean, the little bump here at the end, but survives. Let's go ahead and give it full speed. Watch right. Man, look at that. Excellent job in the 325, not really kind of ramming it in there and, you know, stabbing him into the car in front of him, and just a light nudge, and he was able to survive. Awesome, awesome. All right, and that will bring the end of the race. Tim Chapman, Michael Berthet, Dan McLaren, Richard Holland, and Neil Strausser round out your top 5 here. That was brutal. That was pretty tough. That one was pretty tough.
It was, and last Wednesday, I think when we did that one for fun, or Thursday, or whatever night it was, we had 8 cautions. Tonight we had 10, and yeah, hopefully we can get it cleaned up a little bit. So those of you watching, we can put on a little better show. These guys are capable of putting the better show on. You saw them on dirt, running side by side, respecting each other. This is the same group of guys, so it's just a matter of learning. We're gonna have some bumps in the road, I guess. They ran these cars, these trucks last season, and the average field size was about 8 to maybe 8 to 15 trucks. That's half of what's on the track now. A lot more going on. So guys, there's just probably a week or two to probably get an adjustment here. And I'll tell you, having to plate race the first 2 races, that probably adds to the difficulty quite a bit.
Yeah, I'm definitely trying to round up some of these guys. I do not see Berthet here, so that is going to kind of wrap it up as we are looking at our grid here and how these guys ended up toward the end of the race.
Well, we got Roger down there. That'll give us 3 guys. We can bring him up.
Ah, man, I'm already ahead of you. All right. All right. If you want to go ahead and talk to Dan McLaren and where did he come from? That would be my biggest question. Where did Dan McLaren come from?
He was hanging around the top 5 all night, 5 to 10, and drove a smart race. And like I said, Dan, I think I said it earlier too. Dan is really, really good on asphalt, and so he's gonna contend for the champ. He's gonna be one of the ones that contend for a championship this season. But yeah, we can bring him up. Hey Dan, this is John up in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey John, how are you?
I'm doing well, man. Good talking to you. And well, the only question I have is, how did you survive?
Right place, right time. Good thing we had 3 fast repairs, or otherwise I would have been out, a few wrecks ago. But no, it was still a lot of fun. Good turnout. Good racing, and I think it's going to get better the more we do it.
Well, we're going to go back and plate race again next week. What do you take out of this that you can apply next week? Is there anything that you can, think, okay, I'll, maybe change a strategy, hang out in the back, avoid all the carnage for a while, or maybe get up front and try to keep it all behind? What do you do looking forward to next week?
Well, it goes both ways. Like, you can play it safe, hang at the back, and sometimes still get up in a wreck, or you can go to the front, stay at the front, and still get, you can get tangled up in a wreck up there. So it all depends on who you're racing around, who you're comfortable with. But the saying, practice makes perfect.
Absolutely. Well, man, hey, congratulations on a good start to the season here. Get a podium. Who would you like to give a shout out to, man?
Spartan Racing, all the guys there, Coast2Coast Racing League, and you guys for putting on this broadcast. It's awesome.
Well, congratulations again, and thank you very much. That's Dan McLaren, our 3rd place finisher in our truck series at Daytona.
All right, Dan McLaren, man, what a blast that guy had. But let me tell you what, I want to have a chat with Tim Chapman, our race winner here, real quick, and see, really his take on this. Tim, man, dude, you came out of this so lucky. 30 places up from where you started. I mean, is this where you think you were going to land?
I know these restrictor plate tracks, man, anything can happen. I mean, you just got to put yourself in a position to win at the end, and, anything can happen.
Yeah, with the amount of pileups up there, you were able to avoid about 90% of them. I think I saw you got banged up in one of them, but you were still able to survive toward the end. Other than Zach out there, did you have anybody else that you were able to kind of roll around with to help you get successfully up to the front?
Not any one person in particular. got behind Dan McLaren there for a little while. He's a good guy to team up with.
All right. Well, this has been an exciting race for us here in the booth and the viewers out there. I hope you did as well. But next week, man, we are looking for NASCAR. Next in the season, we're going to be at Talladega. Some places say that place is certified 5 wide. What are you looking to get out of that? Showing up to the Alabama track.
Hopefully I can figure out what these guys are doing in qualifying so I can start up towards the front a little further.
Yeah, no kidding. I was gonna say, because sometimes qualifying, man, it's kind of hit or miss. If you're able to get up front and stay alive, and be able to push your way through. But yeah, it's still a hard charge here tonight, and you come away with a win, especially the first one of the season. So it should get easier from here to go ahead and stay out in front on the points lead. But yeah, great job, Tim. Go ahead and give me your shout outs here, bud, and let's get you ready for Talladega.
Just thanks to Zach for pushing me there for all those laps and running with me, and that's about it.
All right, Tim. Fantastic job here tonight, bud, and I can't wait to see what you can put up next week.
All right, thank you, and thanks for having us on.
Yeah, not a problem, bud. All righty, and there's Tim Chapman, John, and really, the man, the myth, the legend, Roger Craig. Let's have a little chat with Roger up here. Let's see what he's got to say. All right, Roger, you got a copy on this, bud?
Yeah, I got a copy, buddy.
Dude, walk me through what happened all race. I mean, it's like y'all were playing bumper cars, and I know you got tangled up in some of it, man. What was going on out there on the track?
Well, I'll claim. I think I got caught up in some of those that, but at the same time, I was, I think I was at fault for a few things. So, as I said to the guys in the driver meeting, we're a bunch of dirt racers, and we will get better. We used to run these series on Saturdays and Sundays, a lot less cars, but it started out the same way, and it just got better as guys got used to. It's a whole different discipline, and guys will learn as we go. So great car counts. Probably challenging for the broadcaster right now, but I swear we will get better. I know we will.
Yeah, absolutely not. The more cars, the better. 37 turned out tonight. You can't ask for much better than that. A lot of times, some people struggle around that 12 to 15, but you've doubled that number here at the Coast to Coast Racing League, man. You got to enjoy this. But you guys are heading to Talladega next week. Is this you guys kind of sticking to the super speedway tracks?
We will be sticking more to the bigger tracks, mid-size to bigger tracks. We'll stay away from the. I think it's obvious why we'll stay away from the short tracks. But as we get better, we'll start to put those in the schedule. But it's a process. It might take a few seasons before we really, get the skill levels right up. But really encouraging with the car counts. We used to run the pickups on Friday matinees, and we would get like 7 or 8 trucks. So this is really encouraging. Guys are coming out, and I've just asked them all to be patient because it will get better. It's you got a bunch of dirt guys in asphalt cars, and we usually only use asphalt to get to the track. So it's a learning experience.
Yeah, that's fine. But hey, that's why you guys have the fast repairs and the tires and the incident limit. As you guys get better, you'll actually be able to take those and kind of dial them back there a little bit, and then kind of almost restrict how difficult the racing can be. You do give these guys a lifeline, and I'm sure a lot of them appreciate that, even you there in the back, but it's still a hard charge there tonight, man. And really, I'm excited to see what we have upcoming here for Talladega, and hopefully you're able to turn it around and get up toward the front here, Roger. But man, you know what? Let's go ahead and give me some of your shout-outs here, bud, and now let's go ahead and get you ready for Talladega.
Well, yeah, I mentioned the Salty Dogs. My buddies, there's a lot of them in the room, and I'm not sure who won the dog bone tonight, but I think it was Pat Boyce, unless he ran into problems near the end. But no, shout out to those guys. I gotta shout out who let the dogs out. They're sponsoring our team and doing some great things. I want to thank all the admins and everybody, all the volunteers. That's how this league runs. It's a community league, and we couldn't run it without them. Also, I guess my sponsors, Malcolm's Mills Mill Writing, Langton Mechanical. I can't thank them enough. Westbrook Racing and Westbrook Farms. Just want to thank them. But mostly, like I say, thank the staff. The guy in the room here with you, John Hine, is an absolute workhorse. He's on the executive. He's running the race director now for all the reviews, and he's got a bunch of work there to do. And then he sits in the booth, and he also runs driving school. So big tip of the hat to John for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Yeah, thank you for that. But yeah, there's a lot to be done these days.
And Patrick, I want to thank you. You've stepped in, and I know you're new to dirt racing, so you can appreciate what we're struggling with on the asphalt. But bang up job, and appreciate the calls, man, and look forward to more.
Yeah, appreciate it as well, man. I'm glad to have you along, and hopefully we can do more of this as we get going here, bud.
Yeah, so I think my goal now is, by mistake, I've still got the pace truck paint from our Knoxville Nationals. I think I need to put my old paint back on, and maybe I can get up near the front again.
How about that car count, though, Roger? Why don't you elaborate on that? That's probably the biggest field that we've had in the history of the league, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. So, last week we did a test run, and I was shocked that, pleasantly shocked that there was 31 cars or something. And, the racing's a little sketchy right now. We all know that. So I was a little bit concerned about how many would show up tonight, but it was a bigger car count. So, and everybody, for the most part, stuck out the race, and went through the challenges. So that's really encouraging. I think we got something really special here for the, we got enough special things in the league, but I think we got another one on the cusp here with this.
Alrighty, fantastic job by you here tonight, man, and we'll have to, let's see what you got next week, man. But enjoy the rest of your night, and we'll get back to you next week.
Yeah, I got to get back to the garage. We got a lot of work to do on this car. A lot of sheet metal's got to be changed out, and we'll be working hard till next week.
Alrighty, Roger Craig, it's a pleasure having you, bud, and we'll talk to you later, man.
Take care, guys.
All right, and there's Roger Craig. John Hine, man, I appreciate you being up here in the booth with me. It's been a real treat. You've been up here in the booth with me a lot lately here, man.
Yeah, thanks for putting up with me. I hope I don't embarrass your listeners or make them want to turn the channel from you, but yeah, we're having fun. At least I am.
Yeah, definitely, and a lot of guys, all of you out there in the chat, Kevin Orlando, Justice Murphy, Nick Alves, yeah, even Grant Thorpe out here, Peyton Presley, glad to see you here, Robert Rader, Stellar Stella, all you guys out there in the chat, I love to see it. I appreciate you guys showing up here and saying hello, but we will see you next week at Talladega, and don't forget the dirt races as well. I believe we even have the wingless guys coming next Wednesday. Don't forget to tune into C2C RL.com, and you'll be able to see the schedule for what we got coming up tomorrow. A lot of driving tomorrow, a lot of big guys driving there for the Wednesday league. But if you were looking for us at Simtrax, you can follow me as well over there at the Racing Revolution. Green flag starts at 8:30. So fantastic job, guys. I appreciate you showing up. Patrick Morrison here, John Hine. We will see you next time.